everybody, and welcome back to the stream. I'm LB Hackemup, and this is a new show. We're doing a Monster of the Week live play, and I've got new friends. So before we get into things, I just want to thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to my players who are hanging out with me and learning a new system for me. Well, I know it. They're learning it. But yeah, so I want to just go around real quick. I'm putting a sticky note over my face so I don't look at myself, which is what happens when I stream. But we're going to play a Monster of the Week game called Creatures on the Table. That'll make sense later, I hope. But for now, it's just an Agatha Christie reference. And yeah, let's go around and everyone introduce yourselves and the character you're playing. Say a little bit about maybe where people can find your Twitter or stuff like that, and then describe your character a little bit, personality, physical traits, age, all that sort of stuff. And to do that, we're going to start with my dear friend, channel friend, Miss Ren Reckless. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ren Reckless. Lauren, oh no, it did a thing.
Uh-oh.
You went away.
We lost a friend.
We lost LB. Oh, it's all messed up.
Oh, there we
Oh
go.
no.
Overlay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, wait.
It's fine. It's fine.
No.
You're the
wouldn't-
GM now.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lauren, you're
I
in
am
charge.
now.
I put you in the first spot.
How
Welcome to
rude.
the trash fire.
Yes, it is the
Yeah,
trash
this wouldn't be a
fire.
new game if something didn't go wrong.
Right.
At,
Oh, no.
right at the
I'm
beginning.
sorry.
That's-
I forgot to say, one of our channel staples is that we are a trash fire.
Okay, cool.
Something
Well,
always
we
goes
usually are
wrong.
muted for a while, so.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
we're just bonding here.
Yeah.
Obviously. I just wanted to give you guys the full experience and not hit the disconnect button that I thought was the mute button. That's all.
Okay.
Thanks for taking the bullet of
yes.
being the person to first make
Yeah,
things go wrong, so we
obviously.
feel comfortable
Obviously.
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was going for. All right, go ahead, Lauren. Let everyone know.
Okay.
who you are.
Anyways, again, Ren Reckless. You can find me as Ren Reckless on most of the social medias. Not too active there. I'm trying to be though. But this is my first ever game, so I'm kind of nervous. You're gonna have to bear with me. But I am playing the mundane, so I'm just the little regular person running around with my team of hunters. And my name is Lennox Cromwell, but you can call me Lenny. And my character comes from a prominent family, but I'm kind of the black sheep because I like to dress goth and fight monsters. I don't know what else to say right now.
Are your family monster hunters, or they're just like high
No,
society?
they're just, I want
high
to say,
celebrities?
you said we were in the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they do some logging. They have a family
Okay.
business. They want me to go in the
I like
family
it.
business, but I don't want to. I want to do my own thing. I want to be
Yeah, you're
separate
rebel.
from them. And I'm a little shy, but I'm here for the ride, basically.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. Next up is Tedward. Mr. Ted, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Hi. Hi, folks. My name's Ted, and a lot of people know me as Nerd Immersion. Probably the best place to find me would be over on YouTube, but you can search Nerd Immersion on pretty much any social media out there, and you'll find me. So I am going to be playing the Divine. My character's name is Virgil Kane, and I don't know how much more you want me to give away. Wears a suit, 3-piece white suit. I don't have one, otherwise I'd be wearing one right now. Listen, I looked on Amazon. There may or may not be something
Oh,
coming
bless. Oh my
in
god.
the next
I love
couple
it.
weeks. Anyway, yeah. So that's my character. What would you
What
like
would
me
the
to...
other players know about you? What would the other characters know about your character?
Okay, so since I think if we're aware of everyone's playbook, I would think that there's definitely some sort of higher power granting abilities to me. He's kind of a jerk, very full of himself, literally holier than thou in a lot of different aspects. But yeah, definitely tries to be like that super cool, like the quintessential bad boy type of guy, whether that comes off that way. Probably more of just a jerk. But is serious about doing the monster hunting thing. But basically takes literal orders from a higher power. So that's I guess that's his jam.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And new to the channel, Harlan. Hello, welcome.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much for inviting us over here. So, yeah, I'm Harlan Kelly. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me tweeting about nerd things over at BTH D&D. I'm playing Becca the Bug Berman. She's about 20 years old. You can't quite tell. She's a little cagey about it. She's usually wearing a skeleton costume, and you're not sure how many she has of these because she's always wearing it. She has a shaved head that's like grown out a little bit and has been dyed green, and she has very big and thick glasses. She doesn't have great social skills. In fact, she often asks you all like deep personal questions immediately, or just has kind of maybe caused problems here and there with our goals because she is just a little bit direct. And yeah, I think she loves bugs. She always kind of has a mason jar tucked into somewhere. She's maybe got like a little messenger bag. And you very often has gotten distracted in moments where she should be paying attention because she like sees a grasshopper that she particularly likes and like scoops it up and like looks at it and talks to it. And she prefers to be called. In fact, if you call her Becca, she's a little weird about it. She's like, Bug. You should call me Bug. I prefer Bug. The Bug in more formal situations, but Bug is what I prefer. So.
I love her so much already.
Yeah, she's also a flake in the playbook of Monster of the Week.
Yeah, and we'll get into what all that means in a second. But let's cap it off with our new friend, Aaron. Welcome.
Let's cap it off. Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm Aaron Urist. I am a stand-up comic and a writer, and I'm also a streamer. I'm a cast member on Better Than Heroes, which Harlan is the DM of. You can find me personally. All my socials are at Aaron Urist, AARONURIST, and our Twitter for Better Than Heroes is BTHDND. Harlan's wearing the shirt. You can only see the top of their shirt, but there it is. Better, just better. But yeah, so you can find us there. You can see me do stand-up in Denver or sometimes other places. And my character today is using the Monstrous playbook, so I am myself a monster. And my character's name is Broom. I'm a mist goblin from another world. But when my people grow very old after 1,000 lifetimes, we're sent to the world of humans to die, which can take another 1,000 lifetimes. So I can turn into mist, I can turn into animals and stuff like that, and I'm sort of distant and strange. When you do see me in my true fairy goblin form, I'm something called a mist goblin. I'm short with very long arms and fingers and pointy ears and sharp teeth, and sometimes I can turn into a human, but I hate wearing humans. They're so itchy and needy.
Very cute and creepy. I love it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Thank you very much, everyone. I am so excited to start this. We are playing the Monster of the Week system. It is a Mad Hat production, a very rules-light system where the DM doesn't have to roll. So I'm gonna just be telling you guys what to do the whole time. Oh, it's a gorgeous book. I love the cover. So nice. But part of the appeal to me of Monster of the Week is it is very collaborative in its storytelling. And one of the things that you do with character creation is coming up with histories. And each character will have a history with another character. In this session, we are going to determine, we're going to play the game, but we're also going to determine what mystery you guys have worked on before, if you guys have worked on a lot of mysteries, or if you guys know each other well, that sort of thing. But each character is going to have a connection with another character in some way or another. So I guess we'll start off. Does anyone have a strong oh, I know that this person needs to have the history with me, or like this character really fits with that. Does anyone have any like super strong feelings, or should we just go through one character at a time and see what fits?
I don't have any strong inklings at this time. I didn't say how old I was, and I don't. Ted, did you say how old your character was?
Oh,
Because I forgot about that.
I did not.
Okay, because I was wondering, you're wearing a 3-piece suit. Are you like just young and think you want to be like super spiffy wearing a suit, or are you like?
Oh no, I think it's definitely like age is sort of an abstract thing here. Like we're not entirely sure, or I guess maybe nobody here is entirely sure, and I actually haven't put that much thought into it. So I'm thinking it could definitely be like I've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like a long time, and
Okay.
Yeah.
hanging out with people.
Yeah, I was
When we're
thinking.
dealing with otherworldly things.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I was thinking that my character's about like 25-ish, since I'm just human. And just fell into
Just a
this.
person.
I'm just a person. I'm here.
Since we are both just regular humans, and they seem to have something else otherworldly going on here, can we have like gone to the same school together and just been I don't know, have some connection where I'm really weird and maybe I just trust you and need your help getting through normal interactions with people?
Okay, yeah, maybe I understand you on some level that the other people don't understand you on, so I can be like, well,
Yeah.
What?
You're like almost my translator.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here. Can you help me?
yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds. I like that. It's a good.
I myself am strange and unusual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm like the outlier of my family and dressed in
Yeah,
all
we're just
goth.
weirdos.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're just weirdos together.
Yeah.
So I think I have, just talking that out, I have one of my histories, which I think would be interesting if Virgil would have this one for Bug, which is you're the person I go to for advice on mortal stuff, like food and drugs and television and mortal generic things. The person who doesn't seem to really know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I am to you what. Remind me of your characters. Could everyone remind me of your characters' names again, real quick? I just want to write them down.
Yeah. I'm Lenny.
Lenny.
Lauren is Lenny.
Lauren is Lenny.
Alright. And then Ted, what is your character's name?
Virgil.
Virgil. Okay, cool. If I don't write them down now, I won't remember them. I don't. When I watch TV shows, I don't remember characters'
Yeah.
names ever. And then Aaron, what was your Miss Goblin's name?
I'm Broom, Brune.
All right, cool. So yeah, maybe in the same way that Lenny is to me helping me understand the subtleties of the world, I'm kind of like cataloging and helping you translate. Like, oh yes, I speak both languages. I speak the weird, mystical side of things, but I also kind of speak human. So I'm the bridge between you.
I think that works out pretty well. So that handles that one for me.
Perfect.
I'm still looking through mine. See what
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
reading
Yeah.
these history prompts.
Yeah.
If you're doing
Why
this
don't we
earlier, I'm
start,
sorry.
Lauren?
Okay.
Lauren, why don't you read off yours and see if, again, characters or players, if you hear one and you're like, that,
Yeah.
I think that would fit my character well, go ahead and say something.
Okay, so my first one is like close relations or like related.
Oh my gosh, can we be like weird cousins? I just love that we went to like high school together, and we both like were like, okay, you're my cousin. That's why I know how to like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just excited about that.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Lauren, we're taking notes in this game, so make sure you're
Yes,
taking notes.
I
You
have-
your notebook. Your
I have
beautiful
my notebook.
Okay, good. Just make it shoot. First TTRPG, I just want to make sure you're doing it right.
I
so
bought
you're
a
not like,
special
wait, who is this person?
notebook.
I know, it's gorgeous.
That's a nice one.
Okay. And then my next one was initially rivals, but now you both respect each other's talents. I don't know what talents I don't have very many talents, I would say, at this point. I also have romantically involved, or I just have a crush on them. Or one of the hunters is my hero. And then one is you're a bit suspicious of them, maybe due to their unnatural powers or something like that.
Oh.
Everybody else in the group, other than
Yeah.
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 And then they
Okay. Go ahead.
I think this one is they introduced you to the existence of monsters and tell them how you feel about that. And then the last one is save your life from a monster. Due to some...
Lots of options.
Yes, lots of options. Those are all the options.
I'm wondering if we should have, and this is completely up to you, Lauren, if we should have one of those situations where Lenny has a crush on Virgil because Virgil's so, like, they see them as being like, oh, they're so cool and, like, edgy, and, like, can't see through the facade of, like, they're just, like, bullshitting.
I feel like I gotta see if I have a pair, but I feel like Virgil wears sunglasses all the time. You know what I'm talking
Nice.
about?
Yeah.
White,
This is in the 80s, Ted.
Yeah,
White
suit
suit.
and sunglasses. Yeah.
Sunglasses
that is-
inside?
what is more cool than that? I mean,
Could we
Oh
do,
my
like,
God.
Virgil saved my life and I have a crush on him? So, like,
Sure.
sort of like an infatuation maybe thing? Like, he saved my life
Yes.
from a monster, and then I'm like, oh, I need to be in this world to be, like, doing this stuff. with
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Yeah.
All right, Ted, what was the monster? What did you save her from?
oh god, jeez. That's
I mean,
a
I can
great...
make something up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say make something up.
Okay,
Keeper.
all right. It was an elder deer, which is a Princess Mononoke monster-looking creature with very deer-like, with antlers that kind of grow out and continue to grow, and they are perpetually just dripping blood everywhere.
Cool. Sorry.
Yeah. It sounds kind of skinwalker-y, Wendigo-y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saved you from that thing.
And maybe it was one of those, like, since my character is the mundane, I just kind of stumbled upon this situation and had to be saved because I put myself in harm's way.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, can we have been looking for them? Like, I was like, come on.
Yeah.
And then we, like, actually found them, and I was like, shit! Oh.
Yeah,
And
like,
yeah.
maybe I didn't quite believe you, but I'm like, you're my cousin, so I have to go along with this.
Right.
And then we just
The
happened.
Nargle situation.
Yeah, and then I had to, like, we fell into the horror, and then had to be
All right,
saved.
love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm definitely down for being a savior type. For sure. I could pull that off. And not intentional, but like
Yeah.
definitely like that adds to me feeling how cool I am. So like,
Yeah.
you know.
I would. How about for Broom? You have the one where you're like concerned and confused about them. Is that? Did I get that right?
Yeah, it
Like-
was, what was it? Where did it go? I'm a bit suspicious of them. Maybe due to their unnatural powers or something like that.
How do you
That-
feel about that, Aaron?
That makes sense.
Yes.
I don't suspect your mortal
No.
mind could understand.
Either way, no hard feelings. Probably a good idea. One of
love
these is, for me, is they tried to slay you, but you proved you're on the side of good.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I
I
have
was-
one that
Go
is
ahead.
they're an abomination and should be destroyed, except you can't do it. So I feel like this is our rivalry is coming together here, where I want to kill you, but I can't because I have to work with you.
Right.
That's just pretty funny to me.
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
just
that's
add to
pretty
that trifecta with one of mine is all the signs all pointed to working together, so you found them and now you work together. So like the three of us were a monster hunting crew at one point, and I was like, I don't know, I think this one's gonna be a good one. I'm not sure that this is a bad one. I think it's maybe a good one. And then we found him, and I was like, see, yeah, like we should
Yep.
work together. We
Just
should
chill.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Give me a dog.
maybe you like really were thirsty to be buds because you want to be friends with a monster.
Yes, that's the
And,
original. Yeah.
and I, similarly to our divine friend, like kind of need someone to explain humans to me sometimes.
Right.
Like I just don't like. I came here from the fairy realm, and now there's all these cars and stuff, and
Oh, man.
oh dear.
It's like I want to. Oh man, I've just stumbled across this, but I want to make it true about my character that like it takes some convincing for me that the monster should be destroyed because I'm automatically like we should just adopt all of them. Look, we found you and you're in a suit like you were our first one, And then now the second one is over here, and like obviously we should adopt him. So I think we should just take them all home and keep them all.
Oh, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
There was that one with the antlers and the dripping. Can't bring that home.
Well, we could have just talked
That's
to them
a
for a while.
single pet household.
Oh my god. All right, who still needs a connection?
Well, I think so. I've got my going to bug for mortal stuff. I've got that Broom is an abomination and should be destroyed, except I can't do it. So that leaves Lenny, and I've got two. One is you're protecting them, and as my mission, I'm telling you that I'm protecting you, or you shouldn't be involved in this at all. The prophecies didn't mention you either, but this gets my attention, and I don't know what that means yet.
Okay, how CW do we want to go with this?
Right.
I mean, we're there. You're like, you shouldn't be involved in all this stuff. You're just a regular person. You shouldn't be involved. Like, damn the prophecy. That's like very much what it seems like it's going that way.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yeah.
For it's Lenny, right?
Lenny, yeah.
She is so normal that Broom is just like completely fascinated. Like, what's it like? You don't have any powers at all, and you just look like this forever. Incredible.
Yeah, in the same way I asked you questions about being a monster.
Exactly.
You asked Lenny. That's so good.
Exactly. No, it's totally different. It's annoying when you do it.
Oh yeah, Bug is annoying. That's very true.
Noted. Be annoying. That's what mortals do. I see.
So Ted, you're picking the you shouldn't be involved in this sort of one?
Yeah, you should
For
be
Lenny?
involved in this situation. Prophecies didn't mention them at all, and this gets my attention, but I don't know what that means yet.
All right, yeah.
Perfect.
Which
I like
just
that.
works besides the fact that you're like obsessed with me, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I won't go away. You can't make me.
no.
I'm here to stay.
I love it. Perfect. All right, Aaron, I think you have a couple more? Or
Let's see. For Bug, they are sort of my person that I come to for advice on human stuff and the world.
mm-hmm.
Virgil tried to slay me,
Right.
but was convinced not to by Bug. And Lenny, I'm just like fascinated by her normalness. So bizarre.
All right. I dig it.
Does that work? Is that
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, do you see your history prompts? You can absolutely use those. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure you're going so smoothly through this. I didn't know. All right, has everyone got something for everyone else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to be sure we're Lenny and I are cousins. You're my help in navigating human situations like holiday parties. Yeah. Virgil, I'm kind of like stoked that you know things about hunting monsters and you kind of are like the cool guy who got us in here. And then Broom, I just like, all the clues came together for you to be a part of it. I just wanted to.
Cool. Okay, just real quick, you guys have hunted together before. How long have you guys been a group? Like the four of you? Has it been like 6 months or has it been like a couple years? Or like a month?
Maybe like a shorter amount of time because I feel like I'm following Virgil around like a puppy dog sort of thing. So I feel like I don't know if he would have kept me around for that long. Used to like years and years until I
kind of have to. I don't know why, but you're involved, and I need to figure out what that means. So we both can't leave.
Oh.
Oh, snackies.
That was
Pokemon cookies.
Oh.
delivered by a mysterious arm through a door.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the power of the divine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cookies.
Wow,
Magic.
wow, wow.
Magic cookies.
Magic cookies.
All right. Cool. Okay, so I gave you guys a list of questions that are just like my personal, like getting you into character sort of questions. So we're going to go through those real quick and determine more about like your character in this immediate sort of situation. How long has each of your characters lived in the city of Alta?
I'm gonna say my characters live there all their life because their family is in the logging prominent sort of. They've been there for many, many generations, sort of thing.
Okay.
I've only lived here about 2 years because I got kicked out of my other school for a
Makes
bug-related incident. Yeah. And so my parents made me go live with our mutual. Can we say that like I live with in your house?
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah.
I feel like we
Maybe.
would have a mansion, so maybe you got your own little wing or something to do your bug stuff. They're like,
Oh my god, I
bug
absolutely
wing.
gonna. I live in the
No.
carriage house of your.
yeah, they're like,
parents.
we
Oh,
have
I
an
was
extra
gonna say,
space.
like, above the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a space where bug they could just be by themselves over there. It will be no problem for my family to take bug in.
They had to give me a talking to about the power bill because I was like plugging in all these heat lamps for the different like ant colonies. Yeah.
Baller.
Aaron, you want to go?
I don't think I've lived here for very long, maybe just a year or so. Probably
In the
when we
mortal
started-
plane altogether, or just here?
Probably in the mortal plane a little bit longer, but just here for a while. Humans are so funny with time.
Yes.
I think I've probably been here a relatively short amount of time because I don't feel like I could hang around too long and not get noticed. So I'm not like going out of my way to, like, I mean, walking around in a suit, sunglasses all the time, day or night. Probably get at least a couple stares, but I think it would probably depend on, you know, where I'm sent. Like, I'm going to leave that one more up to you. So when I was sent
Okay.
here is when I showed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you've probably been here for like a year and a half, not too terribly
Okay.
long. But you know the area, you know all the stores and such. Cool. Are there any connections your character has in town? Like any people specifically? Like Lauren Lenny has family there, and so does Becca, because of you're related. Do you guys have any like best friend or anything like that? Any person you really connect with, like NPCs I should know about, basically.
Well, we talked about the police chief being like friends with the family, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind of want to just be like, it's just Bug and I. Like we
Yeah.
don't really have a lot of friends. We just mainly hang out with each other because we're weirdos and stuff like that. I want to say
it.
like most people look at us in a way of like, you know, there's those the outliers of that family over there.
Yeah.
They're walking by, you know, sort of thing. Like people don't want to
Oh,
interact.
what's our
with.
last name?
Cromwell.
Cromwell. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm a Berman, but people refer to me as a Cromwell. Even if it's-
Those Cromwells. There they go again. Look at them.
Uh-huh.
Can it be? And you can do whatever you want with this. I don't want to make it like an advantage to me. I just want to generally, like flavor-wise, make it so Bug does terrible at interacting with most people, except she gets along well with old people, like just like very old.
Okay.
Like I just imagine like a nursing home
Yeah.
or something in the area where she's
Yeah.
like fits in, and she's like,
Yeah.
hi, hey Lenny, like you know, or not Lenny,
Yeah.
Lenny, come, let's go meet the like, hey Mabel, you know, just all of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
old folks that I actually get along with.
Awesome. All right.
I think I know one person in town, and it's an older lady, and I think this answers a later question of where do I live. I'm a shapeshifter, so I think I live my day-to-day pretending to be some older lady's cat.
Oh, that's so cute. What does she call you?
Miriam.
Miriam. Oh my god. Okay.
Sometimes
hold on.
Mimi.
Oh. Do you have a name for the old lady?
I don't know her name. Do you keep track of their names?
It's Penny. I say I know her.
I think it's
and I'm friends with
probably
her.
Penny. Yeah.
That's great because that could be how I like stumbled across you and got a hint about you. Is I just like generally get along with old people, so I'm just like, oh yeah, Penny, your cat's weird.
So for me, since I've only been here for a little while, so I think personally that it would be very fun for me to be like friends with whoever's like head of whatever church is here. And I am very much like, I don't know if they know that there's like some sort of otherworldly connection, but I'm not telling them that there's not. So I'm okay with like the church also revering me because that also fits into what I'm all about. And as such, I think I convinced the priest that I get to stay in the rectory. So like I get to stay on the church, like in the little specific area there, instead of them getting to stay. So that's my house now.
I do
Perfect.
want to add
name of the-
one character when you're done. I had an idea,
Yeah.
so I just don't want to forget.
Okay, what's the father's name? Or
Oh,
is it a non-denominational church? What are we talking here?
This is Alda, Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of non-denominational
Probably not.
churches.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Oh, jeez.
But we can be
Pro-
progressive, you know?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
God, no, it'll definitely we'll make it a father.
Okay.
Oh God. Jeez.
Father Kane?
Oh no, that's my last name. That'd be weird, huh?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Or funny.
Or funny. That's true. That is very true. No. Let's go with Father Marin. We'll go exorcist style. So.
Love it. All right, go ahead, Lauren.
Could there be like a Giles-esque character in like a library that we go to because we go and hang out at the library and research things, sort of?
Yes.
Like,
So I guess
tweed
there's
suit.
two options for you. Yeah. You have Brandy Hickman, who's a reporter in town, who could help you in that regard, or Cynthia Levi is the librarian in town.
Okay, let's go with the librarian, sort of like, since we'll have to research stuff, maybe. We hang out there and then...
You should.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how to play, but you probably should.
I love this too because it's like absolutely the adult that would be nice to two like 20-year-olds like us who really don't fit in, and the librarian is like, oh, these kids need to get out of here, you know, like come here, just you absolutely need to borrow these books and
Yeah.
for a while. Like,
The question is, does Cynthia know about monsters, or just think you guys are really curious?
Can she have like an inkling? Like, maybe like sort of thinks it, you know, like maybe there's something weird going on with
Isn't
these
ready
kids.
to believe.
Yeah.
yeah. She's at least like humoring us.
Yeah.
You know, like she knows that we believe, and she's
Yeah.
not trying to like cancel Santa Claus to us. She's
Yeah.
just- yeah.
Like she knows a lot about the occult and monsters, but doesn't actually think it's real.
Yeah.
She's just
An
like
enthusiast.
interested.
Yeah.
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 Casual enthusiast.
And she doesn't need to like. She doesn't feel like she needs to sit us down yet and be like, "You all, this stuff is not real." But
Yeah.
we're very much think that she maybe thinks it's real. We're like, yeah,
Keeps them off the streets, you know. Keeps them in here.
The mean streets of Alta, Wyoming.
Listen.
Yeah.
Alright. So we've been here for a while. There's obviously an interest in the occult, and there was a monster that was Slade. We've discussed. Is it safe to say that we can add some sort of conspiracy theorist nut who's like, they're real, they're out there? There's got to be one. It's a small town. There has to be.
Sure.
One,
Now we're
Sure.
talking.
you know,
Yeah.
that like
Let-
perhaps Broom or I, in some instances, I don't know what Broom's thing, but like try and like further that conspiracy by like
Yes.
false,
Totally.
like
Maybe it's
leaving footprints or whatever to mess with this guy or
maybe it's one of Penny's neighbors. So
yeah.
Broom has just been like observing this guy and his craziness.
What should we name this guy?
Adam Rogers.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Sorry. I have
No,
a
you're
list
good.
of names because I'm
Adam
the one
Rogers
who's
is
like,
perfect.
I don't know.
Okay.
Rogers is
Adam Rogers, the conspiracy theorist.
I love
Also,
it.
I don't want to be like Jordan and be like, the dog's name is Router.
Listen, all right, everybody loved that dog.
That's true. That's
Hero
not a
Quest.
fair. Hero Quest.
What was the librarian's name again?
Cynthia?
Cynthia.
Yep, Cynthia Levi.
Cynthia
what was-
Router. Got it.
Yeah, got it. And what was the reporter's name again?
Her name is Brandy Hickman.
Can we be worried about her?
I mean,
Or
If
is she
she's
kinda,
not
like,
the one
nice?
she's kind. She's like one of those like small town reporters who's always looking for a story. Like, she really wants there to be something interesting going on, when generally there's not. So I think
It
she
could be.
intrigued.
Maybe, maybe we're still worried about her.
Yeah, that seems like a problem.
Maybe she just really lacks personal hygiene. Maybe she just appears depressed.
All right, perfect. The next question is, how long have you been hunting personally as each character?
Like,
Which
oh
we kind of
my
discussed
God.
before, yeah.
What?
69
Not
years.
Oh.
Ah,
Well, I guess we would be hunting from whenever we found Virgil. Unless you had you were trying to hunt before and just never found anything, and you count that as I've been hunting. For
No,
him."
I've just believed in monsters
Okay.
more than I believe in humans my whole life. It's like why I like bugs. It's because they feel monstrous to me, and I'm like, see, there's proof. Look at this bug. It's weird. That's a monster. And my family has always been like bummed out or like weirded out by that. And but as far as like actually getting to participate in it, not until we met Virgil.
Do we want to have met him right after he came to town, or like?
Yeah, I think it makes sense with like
Yeah.
my Flake background. So I'm kind of like the lone gunman in X Files is what's compared to, where I just like am an expert, kind of like hanging out in the background about stuff. So I think that when I'm like looking for all these signs and like looking for clues, putting things together, and so when Virgil came to town, you said you like stood out, that I could be like, Lenny, look, this is it. This is our chance. Like. And so when there was you came to town because of this deer, right?
Yeah,
Just like this- yeah.
let's say that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So I could also have been like trying to put the signs together there, and I'm like, come on, Lenny, let's go find the deer. We'll find the deer first, and then we'll go tell him about it, and then he'll think we're cool, and we can finally do this thing. And instead, we just put ourselves in a very dangerous
Yeah.
situation,
Okay.
and then he had to save us.
Okay.
So, I love this. I love the weird cousins thing.
Yeah.
So much.
It's definitely I mean, that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
that's why I love this game, because you do make those connections and it feels more real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has Broom been a monster hunter before this, or how do they feel about hunting?
Probably not really. The rules are sort of different in the human world, so I get why they'd want to hunt some of these monsters. Can we say that maybe this elder deer, came through whatever opening Broom came through?
Ooh.
Is that possible?
Sure.
And Broom feels somewhat responsible, so decided to help them.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Oh, I've decided in this process because
Yes.
I'm
As you
a
do.
jerk. I'm gonna say that Virgil's 400 years old. I'm gonna
Okay.
say. But he rounds it up to 420 years old because he thinks it's cooler.
Nice.
Because that's one of the things he learned about the human world. That's a number.
Nice.
Yeah.
I taught you that. It's actually
Yes.
a magical symbol that
Yeah.
people in their mid-20s to late 30s use to conjure humor.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. So we are adding 20 years to the age to sound cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like it.
that's definitely it. And then again, probably been hunting in the grand scheme of this for around 50, we'll say, years, but we're 69 is another number we learned as well.
Yes.
So we're very much yes, it's 420 69. I hear that's what the kids say. You know?
Yeah. The 69 is more of a magical number for a younger group of people, but depends on. So you want to try and use them in different situations, but sometimes you can collaborate those together to create a more powerful magic that expands the age groups of humans.
Mortal magic. Who knew?
Imagine.
All right. The next question is, where does everyone live? When we've already gone over that one. The next one is, what would your character be doing on an average Tuesday morning? Do you guys work? Are you just hanging out at home? Like, what is your day to day? Because this episode is going to start on a Tuesday morning, so I need to know.
I think Broom sort of hangs out around Penny's home. He's sort of I think he did the thing that some cats do, where he just sort of showed up and was like, I live here now. And she took him in. He's the only cat. And he also does that sort of like old school fairy thing, where when the humans are asleep, they'll perform some like chores around the house in exchange for being given a home. Mm-hmm. So he sort of wanders around town and spies on people and learns about the world and then returns for pets.
And noms.
And noms. Yeah.
Does Broom need to eat?
No, but I do. She seems to like it when I do.
Love it.
Oh man.
Maybe I spend my Tuesdays mornings, or any morning really, like just reading about the occult in the library with like a cup of coffee, and this is what I find relaxing, just learning about, now that I know it's real, I just want to learn as much as I can to just try and have some sort of foot up in the game. So I'll just be there, drinking my coffee and drinking boba. I'm gonna be drinking boba and researching, I guess. Reading
I love
books.
that researching monsters is practical to you. You're
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's real. I have to do my homework.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that Bug has like I live in this carriage house and I'm like 20 and so there's a lot of pressure for me to get a job and I refuse. So instead of doing that, I just figured out how to pay my bills by cultivating rare insects and selling them on the internet. So I'm just like, I always have like money to pay the rent, and maybe Lenny's parents are kind of like worried about. They try to like kick me out by being like, okay, you got to go get a job now and be a real part of the world because, this is the real world. And I'm like, what are you telling me? Tell me I need to pay rent? Okay, I'll find money. And so I get money by so I spend the morning like feeding all of these tanks I have and making sure everything is calibrated, and then like answering some emails. I'm like, no, you idiot, this bug costs this much. Absolutely not. And then I eventually meet up with Lenny at the library after I've done my business, which is like feeding ants and such.
I had another thing, because like we have a rich family. I want to say that maybe my parents are also trying to get me to work, but we still have a grandma who's alive who's just like feeding me money, so I don't actually have to do a job. So like my parents are like, you need to get a job. You can't just keep running off with Bug and doing whatever you guys do. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then my grandma's like, here's your allowance, sweetie. Spend it wisely. It's like thousands of dollars.
$2,000
Yeah.
a week, right?
Yeah.
See, old people get it.
So I could like
I get it.
fund the stuff too because I have money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can we be very honest with your grandma about the monster stuff? And she just like
That's so
Oh,
lovely.
honey.
Yeah.
Children.
Oh,
Thank
sweetie. Yeah.
You're so creative with your stories.
Yeah.
It's so nice to hear.
yeah, we like never lie to her.
Yeah.
It's just
Love it.
Great. Perfect.
So my question for Tuesday morning would be, what did Bug tell Virgil cool people do on Tuesday mornings? Because that's what I'm gonna do.
Can I ask one more question pertaining to the last thing? What if Penny is your grandma?
Ooh.
It's all connected.
That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too.
This cat just showed up.
Yeah. Grandma, your cat is weird. I'm telling you.
Penny Cromwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma,
Penny
yeah, Grandma Penny, your cat is a monster. And she's like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh yes, she is a little scamp, isn't she? Totally. Yes.
Oh.
Here for it.
Good stuff.
What does Bug think cool people do on Tuesday morning?
Like if Bug thinks like hanging out on like the park bench drinking like booze out of a brown paper bag is a
Oh,
cool
Lord.
thing, I'll do that. Like that's what I'm like I have a house that's paid for because I convinced the priest to give me the rectory, so the church is paying for my house. So
This is so like, what is Bug think that normal people do? Because you want Virgil to like
yeah, to
blend
fit in.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So-
I think I would tell you drink coffee because I've watched TV shows where like friends and like I just think of like how in Gilmore Girls they're always eating breakfast before school, which is extremely implausible.
Sure,
But
yeah.
like that is Bug's perception of reality for normal people, where it's like, yeah,
Okay.
you go to a diner and cool people go to diner. Normal cool people go to diners on the weekday mornings.
That's so yeah, I'm gonna go to the diner. I'll be in the diner and I will have ordered like the not that it matters, but like the $10 like the
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
like a king meal where I get the eggs and the breakfast meats and like
Yeah, country fried
Wow.
steak it's like the cool guy thing.
yeah, and then like coffee and I hear like black because that's the cool thing to order. That's what cool people do.
Yeah.
And that's also how I drink personally my own coffee, but that's fine
okay.
because I'm
Yeah,
a cool
because you're a
guy,
cool
you know?
person. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
so I'll order that, and then like I don't know if I actually I don't know if I eat. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm gonna say I do, but like not all of it. And I'm just like this is like I'm going through the motions of like these are I am eating, I am drinking black coffee. These are normal things, and then like I'll be there for what I assume like a half an hour is a reasonable amount of time, I guess. And then I'll be like, and now I'm leaving. Then I leave.
No, you got to stay longer because when you like hang out, it seems like you don't have anywhere to go, which is a powerful
Oh yeah.
thing in the human world is when you have leisure time.
Oh, okay. Then that's
hang-
yeah. I will hang out and like with a near full cup of coffee, and they'll like come back and be like, "Can we get anything for you?" But no, I'm good. I'm good.
You're the worst.
Do you want
kind of
us to?
children.
Do
I
you want
get
us
it.
to wrap that up? No, I'm okay. You sure? Yeah. No. It's good.
Yeah.
Get you something to drink. Got my coffee. It's like still full. Like
Old and full.
you know. All right, that's my Tuesday.
Gross.
Amazing.
This
All
is-
right.
God, I love how we all worship Lenny a little bit. Like we're all just like staring at Lenny, being like, "Please, God, help us." You know?
Everyone thinks
Are we good? We good?
I think that Letty
Alright,
should
and then-
just like kind of go along with what everybody thinks is the right thing to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, sure, That's totally what normal people do on a Tuesday.
And the last question I have is do you, well, we know that Bug has hobbies that involve bugs. Does anyone else have like random things that they like to do? Does Broom like to go off? And you said you like to observe people. Do you like to fuck with people too?
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes.
Adam Rogers.
It can go a little bit too far. Yeah, I like to fuck with Adam Rogers specifically. He's already so on edge.
I know.
I like to do little illusions in his house and stuff. But I like to go around and explore the town. And, also, Penny Cromwell is into painting, and I sort of finish her paintings at night. She never seems to remember. But they're quite nice.
As a cat, or do you turn back?
Oh, not as a cat.
Oh, of
that's,
course. I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous.
That would be rude. I'm so sorry.
Whew.
I think I maybe I just like I think because Bug is my go-to person for like what humans do, and so like I think because that's like what I consider to be like the real world, even though I know there's like a whole other real world. So I think I just like am all about like reading fantasy novels about like monsters, but like I know that they're wrong, but like that's how I get that, like that's my interest, is like these really just bad books about things that are not true at all, and that's like I'm just like this is wrong, clearly.
Is it like
that's
humor?
cute.
Is it like humor writing for you? You're like
Yeah,
reading
yeah.
Frankenstein. You're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
That's
well,
not how it works.
oh, she almost got it right. Wow. Mary Shelley, what do you think? Like, you know?
Bless.
Oh. I was trying to think of something that Lenny would like to do besides just like research and stuff.
I mean, it could just be research. You
Yeah.
like boba tea.
I like
That's
boba tea.
that's a whole art in itself. Do you
Yes.
make it or do you go get it?
No, I go get it. I can't. I don't know how to make things. I'm rich.
I was gonna say, did you? I'm
Although
curious.
Wyoming has
I was gonna
has
say
a boba
Wyoming known
place.
for its boba tea.
Amazing.
I bought a franchise, so I just could have
I was gonna say, yeah.
boba
that, like,
tea.
Amazing. And it's like very successful.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there wasn't one
So
in
of course
town.
the people would love boba tea. 'Cause
Yeah.
Boba tea's amazing.
It is. It is.
Yes. Yes.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, boba tea in general is fun.
Yes.
All of
Just
it, boba.
hashtag
all boba tea.
All of you.
We're sponsored by Tapioca.
Yes. Tapioca pearls.
Only the pearls.
I think Bug also really loves boba tea because she's like, look, it's weird pods that you eat. Us. All food should be in weird pods. This is better.
I mean, I agree. Wonderful.
Yes.
Can Lenny be trying to learn how to do lock picking, but not be very good at it? Like I think it's
Yes.
a skill that I want to have, but I just can't figure it out. Okay, that's what I try and do
I
with
like
my
that.
spare time. Is I try and learn how to pick locks. So I have like little locks in my room or something that I'm just sitting there with like a bobby pin and just trying to figure out how it works, and I just can't for the life of me.
Love it.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? Because I'm done asking questions of you right now. I was gonna say tonight, but that's a lie.
Oh, we learned so much about
Yeah.
ourselves and each other.
Exactly.
I guess I'll throw this out there too, because we just as a means to explain a little bit about my character, since there was the whole incident with this elder deer that I did save you guys from. I feel like it's worth mentioning that looking at my character sheet with the stuff I have a divine weapon, which I'm assuming is how I defeated this deer, which is a flaming sword, which
Incredible.
is pretty cool. That I can summon from nowhere, but to be edgy, it's black flames on the sword. You know, not like holy white. It's like super dark and broody black flames. So that you guys would know that that's a thing that I have. So
Why
This
he's
is kind
insanely
of-
cool. He's
This is
insanely
funny.
cool.
Yeah.
I have a gun.
Wait.
I think
All right, that is
I
something I need explained.
so. Well, here, the character explanation is that it said you can pick a weapon, and I was like, it'd be funny if this goblin had a gun. But I think Broom came to town and was like, I'm in danger. I'm in a new place. I require a weapon. So he disguised himself as a human and was like, you there, where will I find a weapon? And went into it like a gun store and was like, I require protection. And they're like, I guess this.
I love it.
So he has a gun.
that's great.
And with your shape-shifting, everything you're wearing, like you can shape-shift radically, right? You can create
Yeah.
clothing
It's
and all that
it's
sort of
not
stuff.
super well stipulated in the moves. It just says like it's usually this or that, but you can come up with it. So and we've
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it makes sense for you, for anything you're like carrying to sort of like meld magically into you if you turn into a cat or if you turn into a, your normal form. If you want to have it out, you can, so you can be a goblin with a gun.
So
And
I'm
I
a
don't
cat-
wanna-
I'm a cat with a gun.
Yes. No thumbs.
It's just technically, it's
Yeah.
there. I'm not using
there.
it.
Right, right. And I don't want to deal with your character being naked as a human, so you can shapeshift with clothing.
Excellent. I
Perfect.
wasn't going to put that on you guys. I promise.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
But naked as a goblin for sure. Canon. All right.
Oh yeah. Yes, yes. Very, very Ken-like.
Exactly. We have no. There's nothing.
All inside.
I put on some clothes because it upsets people.
Yeah, it would have set me too. All right. unless there's anything else, we can get going into the mystery, into the show if you'd like.
I'm so excited about this crew.
All right. So let's get into it. Sitting on the border of Idaho and Wyoming, at the back end of the Grand Teton Mountain Range, it sits at an elevation of over a mile above sea level. Alta, Wyoming, a very small town with sort of the tail end of the attraction to the Teton Mountains, which is a national park. But everyone usually goes to the other side of the mountain, Jackson Hole and Jackson Hill. So you guys, this area is very much people you know. You get the busy season, you get the where there's hikers who are really dedicated to like the different trails, not like the well-traveled sort of trails. They will come to the back end and they will hike the areas, but generally you have I named it something nice, and I always forget it. The Treasure Mountain Summer Camp, which is a camp for teens. It is a wilderness survival training camp, but basically it's on a lake. They got one of those big old jump things. The blob that somebody jumps on one end and you fly off the other. Yeah. See. But in general, the town is very sleepy. The town is very quiet. You have a few normal characters that you guys would know. The police chief, Tact Hailstorm, is a very nice and kind man who you guys have worked with before. He knows about the world of monsters, but does not want to handle it himself because he feels like he's not qualified. You guys have other people that you know in town that will go over when they come up. Mostly people that you know in passing. Again, small town. Everyone kind of knows everyone here. But you also know about the area. The Teton Mountains are a well-known national park, so they get a lot of travelers, but they also get a lot of hikers that go missing. And not that any of you have, well, Lenny might have looked into statistics of the area. It does seem like there are maybe a few more hikers that go missing here than in the other national parks. Although I have looked up the statistics of the amount of people that go missing in national parks, and it is astounding, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't look it up.
I have a great TikTok creator that I'll flip you up that talks about just this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just read an article about a specific mountain range in Australia where like so many people have gone missing. Oh, spooky. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what we're here for, the spookiness. But anyways, our story begins on a typical Tuesday morning. Everyone is doing their typical Tuesday morning routine, which we have discussed here. When, I believe, we're going to say that Bug has not yet come inside to talk to Lenny about, the day, what they're going to do. Lenny, you are looking at your occult book. You're reading about Cthulhu and trying to figure out if elder gods are real. And it's kind of messing with you a little bit as okay, monsters, but like elder gods, holy shit. When you get a call on your phone, it is from, what did we determine that you called him?
What were we? What we said?
Chief? It was either Uncle
Tact Chief
or Uncle Chief.
Uncle Chief.
Uncle Chief.
Uncle Chief.
Yeah, so your phone rings and it says Uncle Chief.
Okay, so I answer that and say, "Hey, what's up, Uncle Chief?"
Hey, Lenny. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm just doing a little reading here in my room. What's up?
Something's come up, and I know that I assume that you are still hanging out with those hooligans that I have told you to leave behind, but are you still in contact with that Virgil character?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Right. Now, I know that you're more stubborn than your father is, but something's come up, and I'm wondering if maybe you and your friends could look into it for me.
Are we talking about our spooky on the side stuff that you want us to look up?
Something that I assume I don't know if it is a natural thing or an unnatural thing, but if it is an unnatural thing, I would like to cover all my bases. I just want to make sure.
Okay. We can look into that monster problem you're having.
Can you bring by the crew to the house?
Yeah.
Or not to the house, to the station?
I'll gather them all up, and we'll meet you there in like an hour or so. Does that sound good?
Yes, just make sure your weird little strange talking one is gonna behave themselves and not cause a ruckus.
Are you talking about Broom or Bug?
Not Bug, Broom.
Ah, okay. I mean, they're all strange. I just have to clarify.
That is a fair assessment of the situation.
Okay.
Yes, just bring it by and I'll give you what I have, and you have to promise me that you are going to keep me in the loop on this, and you're not going to get in any danger.
I promise that I'll try to not be put in danger and to keep you in the loop.
I just want you to look and see if it's one of your things. If it is, then let your friends handle it, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Good.
Goodbye,
Sounds
Snuggle
good.
Bear.
Bye.
The phone hangs up.
Okay.
All right, Lauren. This is your first TTRPG. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I have to go get Bug first and
Right.
tell her the situation that has arose, and then we'll
All right.
figure out.
Would you just
After,
Would you just walk up to the door, or would you? How do you walk in? What do you do?
I just walk in. It's not like she answers the door anyways. I would assume,
Yeah,
being too busy and too in her space with the bugs, that she probably wouldn't hear it all the time. So I have permission to walk right in. I don't
Got her.
anybody else would, but
I love so deeply how much you already know Bug. Like you're like all the decisions you made are just like exactly like Bug is too in this, and you are the only person allowed to barge in. In fact, I probably gave you a key.
Yeah.
I keep everything super locked, but I gave you a key.
yeah, sounds
And
right.
she commented, She like whips around with like her huge eyes and her big glasses as she has like these like weird gloves on and is holding a like wriggling bug, and she goes, "Did Uncle Chief call again?"
He did. He has another spooky situation he wants us to check out.
Okay. She's probably told everybody else, but as long as we don't have to keep him in the loop. I hate keeping him in the loop.
He told me that he wanted to be kept in the loop, but I was crossing my fingers, so
Proud of him.
we'll
Always
do our
cross
own
your
thing.
fingers.
Yes.
He's known about monsters this whole time and he didn't tell me, so I don't trust him.
No. Accurate. That's very accurate, Bug. Should
Let's go get our best friends.
yes. Yes, our best friend, especially Virgil. I need to go.
He's very cool.
Yeah, I'll call Virgil. You get Broom.
Great. I'm terrible at talking to cool people, so you should
Yes.
you should call him.
Yes. I hope he's wearing a suit again.
I love it when he wears a suit.
I do too. It's just
He
great.
looks like a butterfly out of a cocoon.
He's just like the coolest person we know.
He is the cool. That is very true. It is scientifically measurably cool that he is true that he is the coolest person you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I love doing this with you. Let's go do
I
it.
know.
You
You're my
go get-
best friend.
You go get the cool guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I would be lost in the world without you. Anyway, I'm gonna put this bug back.
God, this is so wholesome already. Okay. All right.
It's so downhill when there's monsters.
I know. Boy, I should maybe roll back some of the horror aspects of this.
No, this is how every good horror movie starts.
Oh, you're right.
We gotta
You're
have
right.
the fun, wholesome thing, and then it just real hard turn.
Oh, for sure. All right, so Lenny is gonna call Virgil. What is Bug gonna go to your grandmother's house, or?
Yeah.
No,
Or do you know?
Bug has a paper bag that she screams into to communicate with
Broom.
Broom.
Yeah, I don't know if it works or not. This isn't me trying to conjure a magical item. This is just like how she thinks she gets Broom's attention from far away. She just goes into like the bathroom with a paper bag and goes, "Broom, come to my house."
Yeah, I think
Alright.
if you look like at that happening in the camera, you can see over Bug's shoulder, Broom is like in the corner up top, sitting on top of a tall dresser, just sort of already in there. Yeah.
Real quick,
What does Broom do? Oh, go ahead.
would Bug like if I would be like, oh, you're just my favorite little cockroach, if I just call you different bug names?
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yeah, like, that's my little cockroach, you can do it, you know, like, stuff like that.
You know this character so well, you have pet names for her. Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. What does Broom do when you see this? Do you give it a second, or do you hop down immediately?
Broom's just up there. Broom will hop down in cat form and sort of look up at Bug.
We have a mystery to solve. Exactly, I agree.
Perfect. All right. Virgil, you are sitting at the diner
At
in
the diner,
town.
Yep.
Named a diner. Let's see locations. I haven't. What is the diner called?
Oh God, what's the city again? It's Alta, right?
Morning Glory Diner.
Oh, I love it. Let's go with that.
All right, you're
Yeah.
sitting at the Morning Glory, and you're being served by Gloria, the same person who serves you every morning.
She probably hates me so much.
For sure does. For sure.
I mean, I obviously pay for my food, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I don't fully understand the concept of money. So I
Yeah.
probably tip well, so she can't be that mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
But she hates that, like, there's like a plate of food, and
Mm-hmm.
I've bitten a corner of a waffle, and then like half a piece of bacon, like some sort of monster. Don't even
Mm-hmm.
eat the whole thing, and like the first sip of coffee is like, I put it down
That's
and be
it?
like, well, that's the best one, you know, the first sip, and then
Yeah.
it just sits there, and then I just like, I'd like maybe absentmindedly with a spoon in my black coffee, just like stir it annoyingly. Like, you hear it just going around the rim of the ceramic cup, and I'll just sit there with my book. I think we're reading.
Yep.
We'll go with Bram Stoker's Dracula today. So it's this big
Perfect.
tome, and I'm just like, ha! As I'm flipping through it, just laughing at the inaccuracies. No, and like, but like completely ignoring everybody else in here. Sunglasses still on inside, reading this book, and
Yeah, I
just.
love that's the only way to make you not a bad guy, like not a huge asshole in this situation, is you just egregiously overtip.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like
whatever.
she knows you really well, and she's like one of those waitress patron situations where she's like, I'm gonna go smoke. You know, if you need anything, like,
Yeah.
I'll be back
She
in five.
absolutely could serve me the same plate from yesterday, and I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't even notice that the corner I bit is a different corner. Like, it's a waffle. Maybe it's a circular waffle, and she just turns it on the plate, so I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's probably like a $10 meal, and I'm like, here's $40. I don't know,
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
I love
that's just like, so it's just, that's the relationship Gloria and I have.
Perfect.
So yeah, I guess I'm just hanging out. But I will say one of my moves that we talked about is Boss from Beyond. Does that
Yes.
happen now?
It will happen after you are involved, once
Cool.
you get looped into the mystery. So after this phone call,
Gotcha.
your phone rings.
I wait like till the third, like what would be the equivalency of the third ring to pick it up? But it's not on vibrate. It's on standard ringtone, and it's just going off, and I'm just like, oh, I guess that's for me. And I pick it up after the third ring. Because I've been told that leisure and kind of like having time and ignoring things, like, it's not a rush. I'll just get it whenever I. So then, yes, I'll pick it up and I'll stop stirring my non-drank coffee that's now gone cold. Probably been here for like at least a half an hour at this point, just waiting for something to happen, because that's how my life is. I just wait for things to involve me, because that's what the cool guys do. Like, things happen, and I do that. So yeah, I'll pick up the phone and be like, "Oh, hey Lenny, what's going on?"
Yeah, you know, I hate when you let it ring. I know that the volume's all the way up.
It is what it is.
Well, we got a situation. My uncle, the chief, called. He said he got spooky things happening, and he wants us to check it out.
All right. Where are we meeting?
We're meeting at our house.
Okay. I will be there.
Okay. Don't dawdle. I know you like to take your time.
I will see you there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Then I just hang up.
Yeah. Ah,
Bug walks in. Was he cool again? He sounded cool.
he did the cool stuff, you know. Just let me ring until he wanted to answer it. Gosh.
Amazing. Just like on TV.
Yeah. Just like all those cool people on TV.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know. How do you even act in a normal situation?
Yes. How do you act in a normal situation? Says the cat.
Oh. Hey, Broom. How long
Hey.
have you been here?
A while.
It's great. It's great. I love how you just hang around. That's cool.
What do gods eat? I asked the cat.
Oh. Well, it depends on the god, I suppose. And probably the time of day, or how hungry they are.
Gods have days? I say, just kind of like looking up at the ceiling.
I don't know. I'm a goblin, not an angel.
Oh, sorry. That's so rude of me. I apologize.
It's really fine.
I didn't mean to
What
embarrass
is-
myself like that.
What did your uncle want? What kind of monster is it?
He didn't say anything. He just said spooky things are happening. He wants us to take
Hippogriff?
a look. Hypocrite.
Jackalope?
He didn't say. He just said
Vampire turtle?
Oh, I hope we get to meet a vampire turtle.
a
Oh,
vampire
no, You
turtle.
don't want that.
No?
But it's like a turtle, but it's like a vampire as well.
Is it a little turtle or a big turtle?
I imagine it depends on the vampire turtle, but the ones I've seen were all quite large.
There are different kinds of
Quite
vampire
rude.
turtles?
I imagine so.
What if it's a polite vampire turtle? Maybe we could invite it over and teach it some more manners, expand its understanding of the human world, and integrate it into our society.
Well, you know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I've heard you say that. It's like that, but you can't teach a vampire turtle any tricks.
I don't know how my parents would feel about finding a vampire turtle in their carriage house, but
Lenny, but what do we say about your parents in the carriage house? They don't have to know.
they
what
don't
goes
have
on
to know
here.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid one day they're just gonna break in.
Well, that's why I have 4 locks that only you have the key to. So the only way they're getting in here is if you give them the key, and we've talked about this, right?
I'll never give them the key. Never.
That's why you're my best friend in this whole world.
Yes, you're my best friend, my little cricket.
Thank you.
That's nice.
And Broom's just watching us
I'm gonna
interact
cry.
with each other, doing
Yeah.
our thing.
Pretty much. Fern does a
Alright.
lot of that.
I make eye contact with her, which is about like the most meaningful thing I can do. I like stare at her like eye to eye for a while.
Big glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. Virgil, you begin to pay for your leave money on the table. I imagine you are one of those people that you just put money down. You don't wait for the bill.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Okay.
I just like I'm nice enough to like tuck it under the plate, not just be like throw the money like make it rain and walk out. No,
Yeah.
I'll take the $40 for my. You know what? I only had. Well, you know what? Yeah, we'll say $40, and I'll just tuck it under the coffee, right? The coffee cup.
Perfect.
And then I just like she just goes into the back, and like when she's not there, is when I get up and I walk out.
Right. Right.
So
So
that no,
as you're
yeah.
right, as you're getting up, why don't you roll me your boss from beyond? Ooh.
All right, first roll of the game.
First
folks.
roll of the game.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Womp, womp, womp.
Go. Oh, wait. Okay, weird. Submit. No forwards. 4! Yeah.
Boy, okie dokie. Oh,
That's
we're on
great.
So what happens, since nobody's played this game before, I will explain. This is a 2d6 system. You have Charm, Cool, Sharp, Tough, and Weird that you roll for specific moves. This one is a weird move, and you either fully succeed, you mix success on rolls, which is between 7 and 9, or you fail a roll. And when you fail a roll, you can mark experience, and something bad happens, normally. So what does it say for on a miss with your boss from beyond?
You are required to do something terrible. If you do not accomplish what they've ordered, you cannot use this move again until you've made up for your failure. And given what we've talked about, that is terrifying. So.
All right, so as you begin to stand up, you feel this connection. Do you have any preconceived notions of what you want this connection, like this conversation, to look like? Or do you want me to just do something?
So I'll let you take it, but like I said, I feel like obviously Virgil does a very good job of trying to keep this very cool, calm, collected demeanor outwardly to everybody. But you ever, like, you have that, either that one person or you're in that one situation where there's like that voice and it's just chilling and it just like, you hope you never have to ever hear this, and then when the connection is made, it's like immediately like, oh, this is not good. So that's the situation that I'm in. So I'm immediately on edge once I feel this kind of connection happening. So.
Perfect. Okay, so what you see, you have had this experience before. You feel yourself, like, as you begin to stand up, you feel yourself thrust back into the chair, and your spirit, your mind, whatever it is pulled back into a black void. You see flashes of something that you've seen many times: fire, explosions, monsters running amok. There is people, death everywhere. The city on fire. You can see planes crashing, cars burning, and you feel this familiar presence around you. And you've obviously felt this before. You know what this person sounds like, this boss that you serve. And you begin to get visions in your head. And these visions show you sort of flashes running through the forest at night. There's blood dripping from a human face. You see torn clothing and bodies strewn about. You see an eye laying on the ground, surrounded by guts and gore. And you see there is a set of glowing eyes before you. These are eyes that you have laid upon, or you have seen before. You have made contact with them before. And there isn't a voice this time, but you get a sense, you get this feeling. And this feeling is simply, kill them all.
I mean, I'm not questioning this at all. It's just there's like a very curt nod, and as without speaking, definite affirmation that this is what I'm gonna do.
Perfect. And then you feel your body being pulled back forward, almost as if you're being grasped by your neck, and you stumble slightly forward, placing your hands on the table as you are still in the process of standing up.
I look around. I make sure the money's still under the coffee cup. Straighten my tie a little bit. Take a deep breath. And then I saunter out of the diner.
All right.
And I think about how, oh boy, well, you know, we're on a mission, we're on a mission. All right.
All right. And with that, it is about halfway through our stream already. I know it's been a lot already so far. We're going to get deeper into this mystery as things go along, and we're going to see what Chief Hailstorm wants you guys all for. So thank you guys for hanging out in the chat. Thank you to my players who are sticking around and playing this insane game with me. I'm so excited. We're going to go on break, just so you know. We're going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Just take a second to everyone. Just relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, roll out your neck, get some hydration, have a snack, and we'll get back in 5 to 10. Thanks, everyone. We just had our lovely break. Everyone got, they took a bio break and got a new beverage. Ted looks even cooler now, so, I guess we all need to step it up. We're going to jump back in with Virgil arriving at the Crowley estate. What do you drive? You walk? You don't have your teleportation, so what do you do?
No, I don't have teleportation. Because, listen, with the roll I've done, the one roll, I don't need something else to go wrong. No, I guess, I don't know, I feel like I should have a motorcycle.
That's what I think too, but I didn't want to put that on you.
Yeah, no, I do. I will have a motorcycle. We'll say over the time of my life I figured out, that's a cool guy thing. Yeah. And that I'm, competent enough to drive it.
Yes.
So yeah, I feel like I'll pull up to the house and then walk, but I'll park further away so that I can walk up, so that I can be at the door for a while, just leaning up against it. When people are actually bring my name up in conversation, I can be like, hey, like that. That's my plan.
Lenny, look, he's already here. It's so cool.
I know. We did get a fan thwart.
Oh, sorry, Fanthorpe. Lauren, we have. Oh, and Aaron. We're gonna do Fanthorpe in 3, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Everyone ready for Fanthorpe? Yes, right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I can't do it.
That's okay. Thank you very much for that redemption, Raven. My dear, my sweet, sweet Raven. All right.
I'll just throw it out here. You were kind of echoey too. I don't know if that was for me. I don't know if anybody else is hearing that, but.
I did not hear any echo.
Is it gone, or is it on stream?
No, I've got the stream muted, but it's fine.
Okay.
As long as everybody else hears it fine, then I'm fine with it.
Good.
It's probably just ghosts.
That's what
Yeah.
It sounds spooky, so I'm totally down with it.
Probably.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
sorry.
You're right. Go ahead.
Can Bug and I should just be watching him roll up on his motorcycle and just be like, look at Virgil. Look at that motorcycle. How is he so cool?
I don't know. It fascinates me, as he is both not from here, and he manages just to know all these things about monsters, which makes my heart aflutter. And then he also is able to pull off all the cool things that people do on TV. It's, some people just have it.
It's just so cool.
Yes. Do you think that someday we could be that cool, Lenny?
No.
No. Oh.
What?
You always you scare me with your presence.
Yes.
Often, and I like it.
He just snuck up. I didn't realize you were there.
Yes.
You're very sneaky.
I think we could be cool if we tried, right?
Trying makes it uncool.
What
You're
if
so hurtful with your words sometimes.
It's just, categorically, not you personally.
Broom, what if I painted bright wings and walked around with them? Do you think that would attract mates?
Painted them
bright colors.
On the wall? Or...
No. Like I got some cardboard and I cut it out very neatly and wore them around, so people would notice me in the way that I notice Virgil because his loud motorcycle comes about. Do you think that would work for me?
I think it would work for you.
Okay, good. That's good to know. I'll work on that.
I don't. Yes.
Are there other maybe cool spiritual creatures like you that would be fine? My big cardboard painted wings would make me cooler to them because I'm more interested in maybe a mate that is monstrous than human.
I've made it clear that it's never going to happen between us.
It's not you.
I
We're
know.
friends.
I'm joking.
I have friends.
Did I do it right? I've
No,
learned
not.
to joke.
Virgil, your cool guy walk has ended, and you are now at the top.
Yeah. This is the carriage house, which is so. I guess I'll just. I mean, I'm not gonna barge in. That's not my style. So.
Could it be connected to the alley? That it's close to, so you pull up in the alley.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, very angel. I'll definitely do that. Pull up in the alley. It's the middle of the morning though, so it's not spooky or cool. But I'll still walk over to the door.
What's up, Virgil?
Broom walks up to the door as a cat and slowly turns from a cat and through a misty transformation into a small mist goblin and walks directly through the door and goes, "Hello, Virgil. Here to try to kill me again, are we?"
And I'll say, maybe. I don't know.
No, we've discussed this.
All right, fine. Not today.
All right,
Thank you.
And I walk directly through the door again.
You could have at least
do not
opened
open it.
it this time.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'll open the door.
I'll come inside. Spooky things.
Spooky things.
Okay, well, let's all get down to the station, right? We have to talk to the chief.
Yes.
Say grumpily. Does anyone else find it weird that he knows about monsters and didn't share it with anyone for this long until we had to find out about it on our own? I find it suspicious.
But, does he know? Or does he, I don't know. Does he actually know? Is he going to try to swat me?
Oh yeah, how does the chief feel about?
Clobber me?
Do we have to hide?
I feel like he is he knows about it. It makes him uncomfortable, and he wants to pretend like he doesn't.
Right.
He's one of those yeah, I know they exist, but I don't want to know that. I was better off not knowing that they existed, but I do know now, and I have to deal with it.
That's like a parent being like, "I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. Don't get me in trouble." I don't want to know what your friends are doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, go in there in cat form like you usually do, so that he doesn't do real bad.
But then people are always like, you can't have a cat in the police station. And you all are like, but why? It's just a cat. And they're like, of course it's just a cat. What do you mean? And then it's like you're explaining too much. Do you know what I mean?
You want to just hang out in my messenger bag and just hang out in my bag?
Yes. No, it's not good in there. You really need to clean it. I always almost go for it, and then there's so many bugs in there.
Okay.
So many. I know you like bugs, but just loose ones? You don't need them.
The ants love it. All right. It's fine. That's why I put pretzels in there.
I think I'll just try to be a person.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know you hate it, but we can get through it. It shouldn't be too long. Then you can be back to whatever form you want to be.
What's wrong with what I'm wearing? All right.
They're just tiny short. You're just a goblin in tiny shorts.
I know.
Look,
I'll give it a shot. I turn into a human who's like a very pale, smooth, fey being, but he's dressed the way they are dressed the way that humans around here dress. So this sort of fey creature with like a Carhartt shirt and a John Deere hat.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
How's this?
Weird. You look like my dad. And it's making me uncomfortable.
I mean, it'll work though. It's better
Yeah,
than
it
the
does.
cat.
Okay.
Yeah, it works.
How are the clothes?
They're
Typical?
just like every other person in this town.
Excellent.
Boring.
Yeah. Yeah. You could be like Virgil and wear a very cool suit.
You should
No.
try it.
Alright. I will sort of turn into mist and then reconfigure as the same person in like, if you've ever seen Eddie Murphy Raw, the suit that he's wearing, the like red leather with the very deep chest dip. How about this? And
Yeah,
a
that-
John Deere hat.
Yeah,
and
that
and you can mix your influences with local accessories.
That works perfect. You look very cool. I think that
Perfect.
works great.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're the expert.
Can we, Lenny? Do you have a car? I feel like you would have a car.
I have a van. I have one of those big vans that has space painted on the side of it with, David Bowie riding a tiger made of lightning. It's my baby.
I love it.
But that's what we'll have to go in because we obviously can't go on Virgil's motorcycle. It's too small.
Right.
I love this too because like your parents are rich, so like they would have bought you any car, but I was like, no, this is the cool. We need to get a cool car. This is a cool car.
And if we,
I
So
found
what do
this
you-
car on the internet, like 2 counties away, and we went to go get it.
I
What do
mean,
you call the van? What's
I
its
don't
name?
know. I was
'Cause
just
obviously it needs a
thinking
name.
about that. It needs a name. Oh,
I mean, we could come back to it.
yeah.
but,
Well,
like,
think of.
a van of this caliber
Yes.
has a name.
Yeah.
It does need a name. I can't think of anything right
The
now, but
Mystic Express.
What about the cocoon? That's my pick. That's Bug's
No,
pick.
you always do bug ones. It can't be a bug
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Uh,
I just think that's the coolest thing. It changes a human body. I mean,
Not a human.
could.
No matter how much you want it to, it's not for humans.
is there any weird monster thing, LB, that I know of that has a weird like humanoid shape that enters a cocoon that I can just like name drop right now?
There's one that puts people in cocoons to liquefy them so that they can eat them.
That could be a good
yeah.
thing. That could be a good thing though. Maybe they don't have to eat anything.
So that's that. I'll throw that out to Bug. I'll be like, yeah, there's something that puts people in a cocoon, but that's just to eat them.
Wow. Virgil, do you know anyone that like maybe doesn't eat them at the end and maybe like turns them into like a cool bug humanoid? Like maybe I could have like mantis claws or wings.
Rebecca, we don't have time for your fan fiction right now.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Just because I told you my
Sorry.
first name does
I'm
not
sorry.
mean you get to call me that, alright? It's Bug.
I just know that it upsets you. I apologize. You know, a true name has power.
Yeah, well, not
Says
Unless you're
Grim,
my
and then
mo-
looks
not
off
unless you-
into the middle distance.
not unless you're my mother. Bug says.
okay.
All right, you guys all get in the car.
Sorry.
Let's move this along.
Yes.
Alright, don't let Aaron and I start talking
Yes,
to
I
each other.
can literally do this forever, so
I know, I
please.
love it. I will say this conversation is happening on the way. Virgil, are you in the car or are you driving your motorcycle?
I feel like I have to drive the motorcycle because I'm not just gonna leave
Yeah.
it in the alley. So I'll drive it. I'll follow the van.
Look at him, he's so cool. Driving behind us, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish he would just ride with us though, so we could all be together. No.
I would like to talk to him more often. It's very appealing to me.
Doesn't look like he knows how to ride it very well.
What do you know? You don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
No, I don't know how, but he's swerving all over the place.
I think
That's
it looks
cool.
cool.
That's a cool thing to do, yeah.
He keeps almost falling down. Is that
Yeah, but-
cool?
Yeah, teetering on the edge.
He's doing the
absolutely.
knee scrape thing
Alright.
around the corners. That's pretty cool.
It's like a bad boy thing.
Yeah.
He's
Have you not
asserting
watched
his
TV
dominance
ever?
over the road. Come on.
It is not only that you must have the motorcycle, but but that you don't care about the motorcycle.
See, now you're getting it.
Yes.
I just love the image of us in the front seat, and every time that Broom says something, we both turn around and talk simultaneously at him. Like, no, you don't understand why it's not cool.
And you guys pull up into a very small parking lot in front of the police station. There are 2 police cars. You guys know that this is a very small police station because it is a very small town. As you guys enter in, there is the receptionist sitting at the front desk, and she is going through some paperwork, kind of looks up at you guys and ushers you away, like just motions for you to that you know where to go. You've been here before, so you're able to walk back. And the police chief's office is enclosed with the glass windows. All of the blinds have been pulled down at this point. As you guys enter, you see before you your Uncle Chief, who is not actually your uncle, but is a family friend, Tact Hailstorm, who is the police chief in the town. He stands when he sees you and kind of motions for everyone to come in, walks behind you and closes the door, drawing the blinds so that no one can see in.
I lean up against the wall, like the corner.
I think it would be funny if Broom also referred to him as Uncle Chief because he just thinks that that's his name.
Yes,
And it makes him uncomfortable.
Hello, Uncle.
I've told you plenty of times, Broom, that is not my name. I assume you're Broom.
Not Uncle?
I'm not your uncle.
My uncle.
Like scratches the back of his head.
Maybe the most confident you ever see Bug. She puts her leg up on the desk and she's like, "All right, what do you got for us today, Hailstorm?" And like pushes her big old glasses up and looks big.
He very shortly breaks it with just a little bit of a smile, and as he walks back to his desk, he kind of ruffles your hair, sits down with a few files in front of him, and he says, "Now, like I said to Lenny, I don't know that this is one of your situations, but it is getting closer to town, so I wanted to have you check it out, like I said, keeping me in the loop, and not getting into any dangerous things. I mean, I don't really care. Virgil and the small one, I don't mind if
Bug, my
you
name
guys
is
could
Bug.
do it. Not you, Bug.
He
That guy-
means
this is-
me.
Yes, Broom.
Uncle means me.
Now, look. There have been some people. You know that people go missing on the mountain all the time. They were hiking up near the Table Mountain. They're going up to the Table. But a couple people a couple weeks ago went missing. Again, not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not uncommon that these things happen. And we sent a search party out, and of course the park rangers helped with that. But yesterday, well, there were 2 children who went missing from the camp, the Treasure Mountain Summer Camp off or just down the way. Now, we sent out a search party for them. We had all the campers help. We were able to find one of the boys, Jacob. He came back. He was all sorts of in a haze, acting odd, like that sort of thing. Wasn't able to tell us much. Said that they got lost in the woods. Maybe they were attacked. But when we were on this search and rescue, we did find a very mutilated wolf. And it has me concerned. And this other boy is still missing. So I'd like you to take a look. You can go see the body if you'd like. You know how I feel about that. If you want to go out to the camp, if you want to talk to the rangers, whatever it is you need to do, just keep me in the loop. Okay?
Promise.
I've got people missing, police fail at their job, and mutilated wolf. Got it.
Becca, do not make me call your father.
You can call him. He already hates me, and he might just hate you too for calling.
this is something that we can handle, but if it is something along your lines, I would like to know. And I'm trusting you to keep me in the loop on this, because if there is a problem, if there's something affecting our town again, I need to know. All right?
Okay. I'll say, I promise while crossing my fingers, so maybe that Bud could see that I'm crossing my fingers. Be like, yeah, I promise. I'll keep you in the loop this time. Not like last time. Not lying this time. Keep you in the loop.
Also me.
My faith in you is underwhelming. Now, is there anything you need from me before you get going on this?
No, we got a cool guy, so we don't need you at all.
And I'll just be like, is that body here?
It's at the coroner's office, yes.
All right, well, let's go with the body.
Yeah.
It's the body of a wolf, right?
Yes.
Oh. Let's do that.
And I just walk out.
Room waits for everyone to filter out and takes
Oh,
a
no.
long look at Chief Hailstorm and goes, "No, uncle," and then leaves.
I am regretting bringing them in on this already. Against a file of paperwork.
Yeah, he could absolutely audibly hear Bug say, "We're definitely not keeping him in the loop."
Shh! I told you not to say that till we were outside.
I'm sorry.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, to the coroner's office.
Yeah, to the coroner's office.
Yes. This town has a medical examiner. It's connected to the hospital and also the vet. They're all in the same building.
I was going to say it's weird that
Yeah.
they brought the wolf corpse to the coroner's office.
They brought it to the coroner's office because it's too large to fit at the vet
It would.
office. Yeah. Because usually in a town like this, there's like a vet that handles like all of the like farm animals, but they go to the farm for that, and they just handle the like smaller animals in house.
Got it.
Yeah. So you guys would like to travel to the hospital first?
Yeah.
The coroner's office?
Yeah.
All right. You guys arrive, and it is a small hospital. It's 2 floors. There's probably a total of like 30 rooms in this place. Ride the elevator down to the basement level, and there is a sign that says coroner, and there is a label outside that says Connor Tobias, who is the MD on staff.
Albie, I just want to shout you out for nailing the realistic aspect of a vet's office doubling as a hospital in a small rural town, and especially the detail of house pets get in vet visits, and then farm animals get on-site visits. It's just like, I'm from Southern Indiana. That's how that works. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I watch a lot of procedurals.
All right, so yeah, I guess we're gonna go into the coroner's office. Yeah.
All right. There is a gentleman sitting at a desk. He has his feet up, and he's reading a magazine, the title of which is Sassy Farm Girls.
Oh.
And
alright.
he kind of like looks up. This guy is probably mid-30s. He's got shaved sides of his head, very like well-coiffed hair, dark brown. He's like oddly fit, but looks really thin. Wearing his white doctor's outfit and a like a very dark blue t-shirt underneath it. He kind of looks up at you guys. Can I help you?
Here you got a wolf body.
And
We want to look at it.
We were sent by the chief of police. He sent us.
oh,
Yes. Yeah. Tack Hailstorm sent us to look at a body.
oh, okay. Chief Hailstorm. Yeah, of course. He said he
Yes.
was sending some people over. I didn't expect this. And he closes his book, puts it down on the desk without like hiding it away.
What do you think of this month's edition of Sassy Farm Girls? I found that the Farm Girls were not sassy enough and too sexy. I wanted them to be meaner.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. You know, they usually have some sort of like spurs and bikini outfits, and I just didn't. It was very lacking this month. And he kind of like walks over to one of the large the doors on the wall that the bodies are kept in, and he's kind of turning and talking to you as he opens up one. And there is a very cramped, large being on this. Again, made for humans, not for dogs or large beasts. So he pulls it out, and did you want to see it on the table, or did you want it just here's fine?
I think we'd rather see it on the table in the light, so we can really get in there.
He moves over, grabs a gurney, and is able to shift the beast onto the gurney, and then roll it over, shift it onto the table with it's very unceremonious. Like he's not, it's not a person. He's not really worried about like disrupting evidence at this point. And then he kind of like magician reveal pulls off the the blanket or the towel, not the towel, the sheet, and you guys see before you a large wolf. I mean, wolves are large, but dark fur. His jaw seems to be disconnected and laying in a strange way. There is, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is an animal and that makes me uncomfortable, but there is a very clear cut to its side. It doesn't seem to be, it almost looks like it's been carved, but not by any like super fine utensil, and there are large chunks of meat missing from its side. Do you need me to stay?
No, I think we'll be
Not
fine.
unless you want to discuss why farm girls should be more sassy. They should be meaner. Like on TV shows, when people have like nice quips, they never have quips in the magazine. I always buy it hoping there are quips in there. But
Yeah. No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. And he kind of like steps away and moves back to his desk.
Yeah, Broom is just like staring at this guy.
Very uncomfortable. This whole group just very uncomfortable with him.
Yes.
that we're all looking at him very intently.
So yeah, I'm gonna check out this wolf
Yeah, look at
body.
the wolf.
All right. Would you like to investigate a mystery?
Yes.
Who would like to investigate this mystery? Who wants to roll? We get one roll.
Not me. I'm on fire for bad rolls today. By the one that I made.
So one, yeah.
I can
So,
give it a try.
Yeah.
Investigating, and someone can help if they want. I would wait until after the roll to help, because if you do not succeed on the help roll, things can go bad. So, yeah.
I'd say our
Yes, how about I help and one of our actual monster hunters takes the lead?
Our normies are better investigators. So.
All right. So, investigate a mystery is a sharp roll. So, if you guys want to stack it, who has the best sharp?
I have one.
Broom, I think you have the best sharp.
Mine is 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Mine
one.
is also two.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have a weird thing I want to do, but I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Right away. Yeah, so.
okay. Broom, do you want to
Weirder
take a look?
Weirder than analyzing a wolf corpse?
Yes.
Yes, sure, I will do it.
Yes.
What do I need to roll?
You're going to roll plus sharp, so you're going to either roll
So-
2d6 in person, or you can click the little dice next to the sharp. And you don't
Alright.
have any forward, so it'll just be plus 2.
I'm going to roll in person.
Do it.
Alright, 8
Total?
total.
Perfect. And as you guys all have the handouts, so which of course is behind everything else. Investigate a mystery. An 8 is a hold 1, so you can ask one question from the list of questions, or you can ask a different question. I will say we are at the beginning of the mystery. I'm not just going to tell you what it is,
Yeah,
just
what
so
is
we're
it?
all
what
clear.
is monster? Reveal.
I-
Reveal,
I-
please.
You could ask that question, and I will give you an answer, but it's not going to be, well, this is what you're
Reveal,
feeling.
please.
Just so you-
Vampire turtle, yes or no?
It is a vampire turtle. You got me from the start.
All right.
thought.
Where is the list of questions? I apologize.
It's in roll
On the
20.
right side of roll 20, there is a handout. Under there's your character sheets, and then
Oh, there it
handouts.
is. There
Yeah.
it is. There it is.
It's got like
Yeah.
a list of bulleted
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Investigate a mystery.
You get to hold one, so you can ask one question from this list, or you can, ask a different question if you'd like. These are just kind of guidelines.
I wrote like a shorthand version of each of the questions in my little notebook. One of them is what do?
Yeah, what do?
What do?
I think what I want to try to figure out is what sort of creature made these wounds. Does that make sense? Is that a stupid
Yes.
question?
No, that's
That'd be a
perfectly
great
fine.
question.
That's a great question. All right. So, from looking at this creature, you're seeing this wolf before you. You have seen the way many different creatures feed. You know that some of them just pull out the essence, some of them mutilate, some of them maul, some of them drink blood. There's a plethora of ways that creatures and humans and other animals eat and consume. This looks like what you've seen sort of people do, almost. The way that this is cut is like something is trying to take off the meat and leave the rest. And the skin has been cut in a way that, again, it looks very clean. Like whatever it is knows what they're doing and knows how to remove this, but it does not look like they use tools to do so. So whether you could draw conclusions like maybe they have really sharp claws, or maybe they, their teeth, or they have laser eyes, and I guess not laser eyes because it's not burns, but
Right.
those sort of things. It seems like it is a natural and a means of consumption.
All right. It
And
looks like
it is not wasteful in how they
Got
have
it.
done this.
it looks like someone was after this fellow for his meat, and they cut with knife-like precision, but with no knife. Strange.
Maybe like fingernails? Are you thinking fingernails?
Perhaps a fingernail,
They just
a
eat
claw,
it?
some other sharp appendage. Does it look like this wolf was drained of blood, the way that a human being would drain an animal of blood before they harvested its meat?
It does not look like that. There are stains on it as if the meat was cut shortly after death, maybe before death.
Perhaps it was harvested quickly.
Let me just double check with you, LB. In the visions that I got and all the flashes, I didn't see anything about a wolf, I don't think, right? All the
No,
crazy-
you did see carnage. You
Yeah.
saw mutilated animals, yes.
Oh, okay.
And you're getting a very similar vibe from this. It was very quick, but yes.
Okay, no, I don't say anything. I just look, mystifyingly at this harvested creature. And it's really just, it looks like something tried to eat it. I mean, I guess there's no, I don't know. I'm gonna go open this wolf's mouth, see if there's anything inside. It's like maybe it bit onto something, bits inside that we can, I don't know, we're not forensics experts, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
look inside its mouth and see if there's
A
something,
note
anything. Yeah,
The note.
Yeah.
with the drawing of a vampire turtle.
Exactly. Virgil, have you ever had to kill anything and eat it? Do you consume anything other than waffles? Yeah.
I'll say he definitely has, but it's
Okay.
not. I don't think it's a necessity thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think if it's a blending in thing, or that seems interesting, I'll try that kind of a thing. But it's not like a need.
Right. Have you ever had to like hunt and consume a creature or a person? Is my question.
I assume that, yeah, I'm going to say that probably not as something that I wanted to do, but something that I may have been sent to do.
Yeah.
Possibly do a bad role. That was the thing I was asked to do.
Yes.
So, yes, we'll say yes.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of move the jaw. Again, it has been dislocated or ripped. And you begin to look inside, and you see that there, on the tongue and on the teeth, are some blood that's a little bit, it's dried because it has been in here for a while, but it is a little bit darker than the blood that you see around this creature, or on its fur, stained, as if maybe whatever broke this jaw was pierced by one of the teeth or something like that.
Alright, well, I'd be like, well, looks like this thing might have not gone down without some kind of a fight, but obviously it didn't go well. I also don't know, I mean, if it seems like a human or some sort of person eating this stuff, I mean, whatever they did had to be some degree of strong or something to do what they did to that jaw. I guess maybe they could have had tools or something. Hit it with a stinker or something like that, break the jaw, but that doesn't separate easily.
Yes, it's very strong.
Would this be a good time to use my oops thing?
If you want to, you get one per episode.
Yeah. So I feel like this would be I stumble upon something important, just like point something out on the wolf, like what's that thing?
Okay. So just why don't
Yeah, the note in the mouth.
go ahead and read the moves so that everyone knows what it is.
Okay, so oops. If you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper. You will find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems.
All right. While Broom is sort of moving around and fiddling with this creature and like sort of gently touching, or not gently touching, I guess I don't want to assume what Broom is doing with this creature.
You've got it. You're right.
All right, cool. Yeah, you notice that. Let's see if what do I want to give you? Okay, you sort of notice that under the rib cage, you see that the stomach has been punctured by one of the ribs in the in this fight, and as you look, you see inside a very you think it might be like a sausage or something at first, but as you kind of are you gonna grab it?
I think I'll just
I
point
assume
at
you're
it.
gonna
And
grab
do you want me to grab it or Broom to grab it?
You do what you want.
Okay.
As your character.
I was gonna be like, oh, what is that? The hot dog looking thing right over
Bug
there.
just sticks her hand in the stomach immediately and pulls it out like, oh, this?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
it's that.
see, in Bug's hand is what looks to be a segmented. I'm just gonna say finger because that's what it is. It is a very dark gray skin with a very sharp nail on the end of it, and it has been severed in a way that is not clean. It seems like a very messy cut, as if maybe it was bitten off. I don't know.
Yes, it seems like it was bitten off.
Oh.
Bug says that she's just like putting this like gross half-digested finger like up to her eyes very closely.
I'll be like, wait, Cricket, can you put that down? You just not hold that so close to your face. It's kind of gross. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. I
just-
appreciate this check-in.
I worry about you sometimes.
I appreciate that because it helps me ground myself.
Okay. Yeah, just keep it there.
Okay.
You said it was like
from this.
you said it was gray, like
Yes,
Like-
and
like
larger
clearly-
than a normal finger would be. A
Okay,
human finger, one would think.
yeah. So this
Yeah.
is something weird.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Bug might say that like in a very creepy manner. She's like, usually human fingers are about like 1.5 inches long, and this is like 3 inches, so it's a very odd specimen for a human finger.
That tracks.
You think a human finger is usually 1.5 inches long?
Well, it depends on which part of. No. Sorry.
I mean, maybe for a child.
Child did it. Wait, no, it's not. We know it was not a child.
Okay. Rule out child from murderer. Yes.
Great. All right.
There's-
So, anybody know of a gray-fingered creature that mutilates wolves?
I haven't come across anything in my research about wolves or aliens.
I would like to ask. I would like to see if there are any fleas that maybe lived on this wolf, and ask those fleas if they know anything about this.
Okay. Geez, this is one of those situations where I'm like, roll a percentile.
Yeah, well, I would love to roll weird for this, but maybe get the results of investigative mystery if I do it successfully. Because, like, I feel like I'm doing my weird, like, something
Do you
beyond.
have any? Yeah. Do you have any moves that would lend itself to this, or is this just a?
Yeah, I think this
Oh,
is.
Clem.
I know. I think this is use magic. I think I am specifically
Okay.
using. Do one thing that is beyond human limitation, and I think that thing that I'm doing beyond human limitation is communicating with fleas.
I like that. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead and roll plus weird.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
That's it's my weird is +2 because of the flake, but it's +3 because I took the ability Crazy Eyes. So I would love
Yeah.
for like my big like eyes that are magnified by my glasses to almost seem even inhumanly bigger as I'm like zooming in, like trying to focus on the fleas that are on the body of this thing.
Love it.
And I got a 9 altogether, so I just missed that 10 threshold.
Yes. So on a 7 to 9, works imperfectly. Choose your effect and the glitch. So you want to be able to speak to these fleas that are on this thing. What is the glitch from the list? Okay. The glitches are the effect is weakened. The effect is a short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate unwelcomed attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
Oh, problematic side effect, absolutely. Yeah.
Of course. All right. What does it look like when you do this? Is it just like you're leaning in really hard, or are you
know
actually physically doing magic?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like I think that like it is beyond human limitation, so it's like extremely abnormal. But you know that scene in Toy Story where like where the guy
Oh,
is like
yeah, with
painting the
yeah,
figure,
yeah.
you know, like the figurine, like all of a sudden it just bug feels like that to everybody else, where I'm just like, let me look at it, and I just like,
Alright.
if you look over at her, eyes are huge, and she's like face up, like too close to the wolf again, just being like 30.
Yes. All right. I love it. So, as you do this, you are able to speak with the tiny, tiny bugs that are on this creature, which nobody else has noticed, really. And they're moving very slow. You know what fleas look like. You know what they do. They jump around and they do all sorts of crazy stuff. They're moving very slowly, probably because they've been refrigerated. But they do sense your presence, and you are able to speak to them. What do you want to say?
Great call. Hello, friends.
And then they all say together, hello.
Yeah. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Bug. What happened to your planet?
Our planet. There was a large earthquake. There were reds, blood, water flowing from the skies. There was an attack upon us. We struggled. Some of us were lost. We moved. We migrated to the tail, where we found our solace and looked upon our attacker. The darkness took the creature. Some of us fled. Some of us hid. It was terrifying. And then it was very cold.
Yes, you are in the Arctic world now. Your world is dying. You must leave this planet. I am here to make sure you know that you must find a new home. But before you do that, is there anything, this earthquake, the thing that brought the blood, does it look like me, or does it look, like maybe a different planet that you know?
It was strange. It was large like you, but it was not like you. But it was like you. But it was dark.
Thank you. Your time is generous. You must know that you are all going to bug heaven if you die. And
Will you save us?
yes, only if you leave this. You must leave this planet to save yourselves.
Take us with you.
Okay, hold on. And I like start to get a jar out, and like open it for them. Get in, everybody.
This
right.
was inevitable.
You see, very like systematically, these fleas start going into the jar, and as you are leaning over and focusing on this, Becca or Bug, your arm kind of gets close to the creature, and as you are doing this, you kind of slice part of your forearm on the exposed rib of this creature.
Oh,
So you get a little scrapey scrape, and you're bleeding a little bit. You don't take any harm from this, but you do in your extraction of these creatures.
yes. Cutting myself on the dead body of a wolf's bones is like the most disgusting thing. I love it. So, yeah, I don't even like notice my wound is all. As I'm more focused on like making sure, like there's like air holes already poked in the top of my jar, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, we know it wasn't a human that killed. I can tell you it wasn't a human that killed this wolf, but I now have a whole society to tend to. So there's that.
You're also bleeding.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, right
I
there.
think I kind of like lick my arm a little bit, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right, that is my blood. I thought it was the wolf's blood. It's my blood.
And you licked it
Ah,
anyways?
yes. Doesn't taste like wolf blood.
No, it tastes like, I know the taste of my own blood. Not that. It is stuff, yeah.
Gross.
Okay, so all the fleas know is that something killed it that was not a human. And it was raining, I think, and it was also like dark everywhere. So it's raining in the dark. So I say we wait for it to rain and for it to be dark, and then we can find our monster.
Are we just gonna leave that kid out there by himself?
Yes, we should probably look for the human child.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Not caring about humans.
We should probably go look for that.
Yeah, we should go to the camp, I think.
Did we go to the summer camp?
I think that's the next logical thing to
That's
do.
the next step.
Excellent.
To the camp. Done.
Let's go to camp.
All right. You guys walk out. Connor gives you like a quick little salute as you leave, and you're able to get back in your vans as well as your motorcycle and drive down the long road to the summer camp. Let me pull up me map. That is
Bye,
not
Connor.
me map.
Bye, Connor. Stay sassy.
He,
Yeah.
he nods and he taps his paper. You guys go down the main road, and which is the Teton Canyon Road. As I see it into my map. It takes you about 20 minutes to go down. You see the beautiful landscape. There's forests surrounding you. The sun is halfway up in the sky at this point. You're following the Teton Creek, which is it's a fairly large creek, but you can kind of see it as you go up and around these hills. And you pull off onto, and you see the sign for Treasure Mountain Summer Camp. And there are plenty of little cabins around the area. You see a lake in the distance that is filled with children, well, not children, they're teens, in canoes. There are camp counselors in shorts and polos walking around. There's the main building, which is the mess hall, and then there is the offices. Where would you guys like to go?
I mean, I imagine the office is the place to start.
Yeah. That sounds
All right.
good.
Who is leading the charge? Who's the person of authority in the front right now?
I think not me, because Bug is visibly nervous when we have arrived on the summit, and she's like, I hate summer camps.
Yeah. I think Virgil should be the one.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You got the
Sure.
suit.
Yeah, that's fine. I make a striking image.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, I also throw out there, because obviously, if it wasn't obvious, he obviously doesn't wear a helmet on his motorcycle. Right? Just wears the suit and the sunglasses,
Yes.
and that's it, you know.
By the way, we do not endorse this, please.
Yeah, no, obviously, do
wear a
not do
helmet.
this
Yeah,
either way.
wear all protective gear if you can.
Yeah.
All right. Just a
Yeah.
disclaimer.
Unless you're 300 years old.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Unless you're
And-
some sort of
and-
divine
yeah.
No,
being, yeah.
then you
Yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah.
Definitely shouldn't ride a motorcycle.
All right, you guys walk up to the office and enter in. There is a person in, again, those like almost too short tan shorts. It is a girl. She's wearing a light green polo that says Treasure. Why do I keep forgetting the name of this place? It's Treasure Mountain Camp. I keep wanting to say Treasure Island. Treasure Mountain Camp. There is a very nice little hill motif on the polo. And she's kind of sitting there, contemplative and sort of looking off into the distance. But as you all enter, she looks over to you and I'm sorry. Can I help you? Are you one of the pair?
I look at the
Uncle.
four of us like, Uncle.
Uncle.
I'm sorry. Is your niece or nephew here? How can I help you?
The chief sent us. Did he tell you that we were coming?
The chief of police?
Yes. What other chief would I be talking?
I'm not certain. You're here because
Of the missing
We
kids.
seek the wolf child.
you're here to help look for the missing kid.
We have.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess.
You're okay.
We just had some questions.
Yeah. Let me get Seth. He's in charge of the camp. Just if you want to take a seat, or I'll just be a second. She kind of gets up and walks into the only other door that's in this building, and walks in. Does not close the door behind her. She just kind of leans in and she's like, "Seth, some people are here about Edwin." And you hear on the other side of the door, "Yes, send him in." So, are you okay? Yeah, I'm still just a little shaken, so I'm just gonna stay out here if that's okay. And you hear him just, "Yeah, no, that's fine. Just take your time. Make sure you're, getting a drink of water and all that. It'll be okay. We'll find him." She turns to you guys. Yeah, you guys can go in.
Andy, she's scary.
The camp counselor?
Yes.
Why does she scare you?
Her shorts are so short.
I walk into the other room.
Is their purpose?
Used. And I just walk behind you all, clearly suspicious and intimidated.
She doesn't seem to notice. She kind of just sits back down and puts her hand on her forehead and starts to rub her eyebrow. You walk in and there is a gentleman in his probably early 30s, late 20s. He's got very curly orange hair, and he is sitting at a desk with nothing on it except for a laptop, and he is typing out something and kind of stands up when you guys come in. "Yeah, come in. You're here about I'm sorry, the missing boy or Jacob?"
Both.
What is
Okay.
Jacob?
It's who is Jacob, Broom?
Who is Jacob?
Yes.
Jacob is the boy who came back. Are you guys with the police?
Yes. I just want to stand there awkwardly, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, what do you, what did you need? You want to know, did you want to
Information?
talk to Jacob?
Can we talk to Jacob?
If he hasn't left yet, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes,
Uh,
we talk to Jacob first.
Okay, I mean, do you want to know do you know what happened to him?
Why don't
No.
you tell us what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, well, 2 nights ago now, the boys, Jacob and Edwin, sort of in the middle of the night, went out for a walk, and they went missing. Yesterday, Jacob was found, but we obviously sent out a search party for them, and we were able to, we found Jacob sort of huddled on the ground. He seemed very scared, and nervous, and he wasn't able to tell us what happened to Edwin. I don't know, he was acting really weird. But obviously, you know, something really traumatic happened to him, lost his friend, and I mean, we still have people out, the Rangers are out looking for Edwin still, and we're trying to, you know, rally everybody and, you know, keep spirits up that we're going to find him. But I know that Jacob really wanted to take his sister and go home as soon as possible. We understand, you know, traumatic experience. So.
You ever found any wolves mutilated when it was raining and dark outside?
No, the wolves don't usually come down this far. No, we don't usually see wolves around here. Some deer and elk here and there. There was one moose that was decided to walk through. That was really scary. They're really big. I don't know if you've seen a moose. They're really big.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, deer can be scary too.
Yeah. I guess. Oh, we did have a bear. Black bear come through. Is that what
Was
you're
it-
talking about?
No, was it raining and dark outside when any of them showed up?
I don't really remember. No, it's usually during the day when we see them.
Do you have a map to show us where you found them, or can you tell us exactly where you
yeah.
found Jacob?
He kind of shifts around, pulls out a very, like, this is the camp map. It shows where all the cabins are, and then he folds it up, and then he pulls out a topographical map of the area, and he's able to point out where the boy was found. It was further down the Teton Creek towards the mountain range, and he points out it's like about halfway between here and the camp and the Teton campground. So about like, I don't know, like 1.5 miles into the woods. Into the woods.
How's the cell phone service up here?
It's shitty. You don't have any signal.
Of course.
Anything that
Shocker.
you're afraid of as you're falling asleep at night?
What?
Yeah, like when you're falling asleep at night, is there anything you like imagine in your mind that might be a threat to you?
No. Oh my god.
Well, that's good.
It's good.
Don't worry about her.
Jacob.
All right, goodbye.
You just kind of leave, and he's like confused, staring off at like, what the fuck just happened?
Can Letty pop her head back in and just be like, thanks for your cooperation, like trying to be like a cool person, like thanks. And then I want to turn to Bug and be like, am I doing a good job? Do I seem like I have authority, or am I cool?
I think you're very cool.
I think you're cool
clearly
too.
in charge, clearly the leader of this group.
Okay.
So we're all just following you.
Yeah, you're
Your
cool too.
shirt has food on it.
I think that's a cool. It's a cool thing. It's like you don't even care.
Where's the what?
Is there a purpose to the food? Are you
like
keeping it for later?
Yes.
No, it's a sign of her success. She has conquered resources.
She is wealthy, therefore she can afford to squander the food.
Exactly. Yes. Okay.
Fascinating.
Let's go see what Jacob knows. Is he
Okay.
like? Oh, sorry.
How are you gonna find Jacob?
I don't know. I was gonna. You said he was somewhere, and we had left.
We realize
he-
this as we leave.
Yes.
And I go back in to talk to the council.
Yeah.
Where is the wolf boy, Jacob?
He's not a wolf boy. He's just. Are you okay?
What?
I can.
What?
I'll pop up and be like, "Hey, it's me again. Where did you say Jacob was?"
Oh, if you talk to Sarah, if you talk to Haley, she's sitting out there. She's the camp counselor for his cabin. She found him, so if you want to talk to her, she can take you to him.
Thanks again for your cooperation.
Just if you could, she's been through a lot, so just kind of, if you could take it easy with her. Kind of motions to the strange one.
Okay. I am okay. Thank you.
The woman still is sitting sort of with her hand on her forehead in the main room.
Okay. So you said Haley, right?
Haley.
Haley. Hey.
Hi.
Haley.
Hi.
Could you tell us perhaps where Jacob was now?
Where he was or where he is?
Where he
Where
is?
was Jacob now?
Where is he? Shh. Broom.
That one really got me. That one really got me for some reason.
This, I feel so bad because this weirdo crew is just abandoning you in this moment because we have firmly established that the three of us, don't understand humans. So now this time it actually comes to a social interaction, all of us are just fully like, yes, you, please, God, help us.
Where is he?
You are Haley.
If y'all could just
Yeah.
take just a step back, I think I can handle this one by myself. Can you just
Yes.
go look at the wall or
By
something,
yourself.
Broom? Just
I sort of
go over there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he was packing the last time I saw him, but I can take you to the cabin.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm sorry about them. They're just a little socially awkward.
It's fine. We get a lot of troubled youths here, so.
Oh.
I've been called that a lot, Bugs says, like popping up thinking she's being helpful.
She gives you a kind smile, like bless your heart, and she'll lead you guys out of this room and sort of across towards the lake, but sort of around the edge of it, where the majority of the cabins are. There is a parking lot to her right, and she kind of like takes a look, and she's like, "Oh, actually, I think his car's not here anymore. He might have left with his sister already. But do you mind if I just go run and check?"
Yeah, go for it.
The wolf boy has a car.
Shh, Broom.
She kind of like nods and jaunts off towards the cabins.
Should I follow her?
No, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna let her
What
do.
if she's hiding something?
I don't think she's hiding anything.
Why not? She's
She's-
a human. Humans hide things all the time.
I think she's just a little shaken up. And if you go after her,
Taken.
yes, like it emotionally hit her in a way.
Ah, yes.
Emotions.
Stirred.
No. Emotions. Do you remember this? We
Come
went
on,
over
that was
this.
good.
Emotions.
Emotions. Yes.
Emotions. Humans have them.
Tremendously. I know.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Virgil, can you just be cool in front of her and maybe she'll tell us something that we need to know to find the monster?
Sure. So we're in the parking lot right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get some. Yeah.
I will
rent
go
your
get my motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll just like ride it over to where we're sitting and just like turn it off and just like sit, like post it up on it while we wait for her to come back.
Now that's cool.
She returns. She comes back jogging. Yeah, it looks like he packed all of his stuff up, but I mean, he was here like 20 minutes ago. He might, be in town.
Did you personally know Jacob and The other boy?
Yeah, they were both in my cabin.
Oh. How would you say they were as they were friends, you said, right?
Well, they
Did-
said they were friends. I think it was they had a little summer romance going on, but yeah, I think they just, went for a walk at night as teens are wont to do, and they probably just got lost. Edwin was the better navigator, but I think Jacob just stayed put. He was really freaked out when we brought him home. He was just like a zombie, very unemotional, I guess.
Was he a zombie?
He's
Was
still in
he
shock.
a dead person reanimated, or
No, he was just acting weird.
Did he say anything? I know you said it was shaken, but did he say anything? Things he saw? I know this is probably hard.
Yeah, no, he didn't say he saw anything. He just was, I don't know. He was just acting weird, like not himself. He's such a happy kid, and it really just, I was just surprised when he wanted to leave, when he pretty much demanded it when he came back, and we can't keep him here. He's, free to go if he wants to, but he and his sister, we're gonna head out, so I just thought it was, he's not really one to run away from things like this, so.
do you think he might be hiding something from you?
I don't, he's not one of the kids I usually have to worry about, but I don't think he did anything, if that's what you mean. I don't think he could ever hurt Edwin.
But he probably knows something that he doesn't want you to know from his odd behavior.
That's possible, I guess.
So LB, I have a move that's called Suspicious Mind. If someone
Yes.
lies to you, you know
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Is this camp counselor lying to me at all?
She is not lying to you.
Okay. I look over and look at the group and go, bless her heart. She's been through a lot.
Bless your heart.
Bless
Been
we all,
through a lot.
can we all say it together? We're all just like looking at it.
Yeah. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Thanks, guys. If you do see Jacob in town, can you just let him know that we're here for him if he wants to come back? And, he always has a bed.
We'll be sure to let him know.
Thanks.
What kind of a car?
Oh, it was like red. It had a sort of a softer front. It wasn't like, like Mustangs have that really like severe front end. It was like something from the 90s, I think. Kind of old.
Yeah, it's a Corolla.
Maybe.
So he's got red.
Sorry. It was a 4-door. That helps.
All right. I guess think we should go talk to him.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go find a red car in town. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super easy. You got it.
All right.
What's Jacob's last name?
His last name is Bush. His sister is Sarah Bush.
Well, that should help a little bit.
The van.
To the van.
To the van. I still haven't thought of a name for the van.
Well, we have plenty of time.
Maybe the Mantis.
Do we think it's worth trying to go look into the forest now? Or do we think we should try to go catch Jacob right
I
away?
think we should find the boy. He's our only potential witness.
The lost one? Or the one we know where he is?
Jacob the Wolf Boy.
He's one of 2 potential witnesses.
Alright.
Let's go
All right.
find Jacob.
You guys get back in
let's
your
face
car
it.
and your motorcycle and start driving back down the way you came. I'm gonna, do something fun here. I would like the 2 people driving the vehicles to go ahead and read a bad situation for me.
Read a bad situation.
That is plus
Oh,
sharp.
I see. It's a move.
It is a move.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
sorry.
That's,
And I'm like, what situation
yeah, I
would
was
you
like,
like me to read?
yeah.
Okay. When you look around and read a bad situation, roll plus sharp. Oh, God. Here we go. Starting at 0. Go forwards.
Ted.
3. Racking up that experience.
Oh yeah.
Everyone.
Okay. So I'm driving.
Get that.
I will say, because this hasn't come up yet, and it's a short series, you do have luck points. Luck points are things that you can do that will, after a roll, if you fail something that you really want to succeed in, you can spend a luck point and roll a 12 instead of your roll. There are things that happen on these luck specials. For Ted, when you spend luck, you get word that your mission requires something difficult that must be done by you urgently. Or you could take the failure and not find out anything. Maybe wait until Lauren rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm rolling sharp, right?
Roll sharp, no forwards.
Okay. Why not working?
I don't know what happens when I check a luck. It doesn't say something.
Underneath the luck, hold on, let me pull up your
This character sheet is a shade luck special.
Yeah,
So,
it's when you spend luck, pick an aspect of the current situation. The keeper will tell you what other conspiracy is this aspect next to.
Let's see.
And I didn't get the bug.
Looks like he doesn't.
There we go.
Thanks.
I rolled it.
All right, Lauren, you got a 9.
I hit a wrong button and everything disappeared.
That's all right. All right. There are questions that you could ask, but I'm going to use this as a way to have you see something you normally wouldn't see. You cool with that?
Okay.
Amenable?
Yeah.
All right. So as you're driving down the road, when you were coming back, or when you were coming towards the camp, you didn't notice it, but there is an access road that goes off of this road. You didn't see any cars as you were driving down here, and as she said, he left fairly recently. So maybe he left, before you guys started your drive. Maybe he left after you got there, or maybe he took a different way.
Oh yeah, because we would be driving in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm following you.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a motorcycle, literally following
Yes.
you. So, if you
Wait.
want to turn off,
I do think I want to turn off and
fine.
see what's
I
up
can do
this.
that cool.
Yeah.
Can I I can do magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use magic to try to catch a glimpse of the past? See which way they might have gone.
Sure.
Something like that?
Yeah. There is in the magic move, there is a see another place or time.
Oh.
Wow.
How? It's just magic, man.
Oh, I said
Magic.
wow.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. It's magic.
No.
Magic,
I was just
yo.
impressed with that act.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can roll plus weird unless you have a move that will help you with it.
No, I think that plus weird is going to be my best bet.
Do it.
My weird is 3. Ooh, that is a 14.
Damn.
I rolled
Holy
11
shit.
on the 2d6.
All right. So, what does it look like when you do magic?
I think. I hadn't thought about this. Their eyes sort of they're already large and misty eyes glaze over with light, and they sort of raise their hands and move their fingers as if they're flipping through some kind of invisible book as they attune themselves to the past resonancies of this place.
Way better than I could have ever put it. So you begin to do this, and as Lenny notices the access point, for you time sort of stops, and you are transported as you are filtering back through the timeline of this situation, this space. And you were able to see this red car, which is a Ford Focus, driving down this road. And you see the Ford Focus pull off onto this access road. And because you rolled so well, and this is not an aspect of Monster of the Week, this is just a me thing that I like to do. If you roll really well, you get a little bonus. You kind of like get a closer look into the car, and you see the boy, this sort of sandy-haired, long, like cheek-long, very like unkempt hair, very like staring off onto the road as he's going. Not very much emotion on his face. And you see this girl, long blonde hair, sort of looking over at him and making a motion like, what are you doing? Like motioning towards the road and like shrugging and trying to like get him to speak with her. And he does not seem to be comprehending or listening to what she's saying. And then you are brought back into the moment as Lenny sees this access road.
Brune sort of stops on this page that he's flipping through, and his eyes widen. He says, "They went this way. The boy is so afraid. He's withdrawn, gone to the red place. The sister, she's upset. I can feel it. They are not far."
Okay. And so I could be like, oh, this access road, and do a quick little turn, and yeah, just so we could start going up that road.
Your van begins to, it is an unpaved road, but is very well worn, as if maybe someone uses this road often, or often enough that it's not incredibly bumpy, but it is still an unpaved road. You can see the trees are a lot thicker in this area, and the sort of afternoon gets darkened because of this. And it doesn't take you very long to get down this road until you see ahead of you, pulled off in between two of the trees off of the access road, is a red Ford Focus.
There.
Oh, look, a Ford Focus. I was so close with the Camry. See, I know human patterns of behavior, she says.
Let's go.
Also, cool turn there, Lenny. That was a cool turn.
Thanks.
You made that was very cool.
Yeah, I'm getting. We're getting there. We're gonna get more cool together. Let's do this. Okay, so we can pull off next to them and get out and talk to them. I'm assuming they're not too. Are they there? Or is it just a car?
Well, so do you want to just park behind them, or like do you want to try and also pull off the road?
Yeah, I have a big van. Maybe I'll just, kind of pull off the side of the road, not necessarily like pull into the ditch or anything between the trees.
All right. Yeah, you pull up behind this car. The leaves of the trees are moving and kind of obscuring the vision of this car, like from you. You can't really see if there's anyone inside or what's going on. The doors are closed, but it is off and it is just sitting there.
Is this threatening? I mean, like, Bug is kind of like scared of the human world in general, but knows well enough how to navigate it because she's practiced enough.
Yeah.
But does this seem like spooky to her, or like threatening in any, like is this a trap? Is this like I'm just like she's like genuinely anxious.
Yeah.
So would this set off her like this is something that's wrong here?
Something is definitely wrong here. This car doesn't belong here. It's not on. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything.
Would you say it's like a threatening situation, or is it like just eerie?
Eerie.
Okay.
It doesn't, because it is pulled off of an access road where not many people travel down. it is pulled off the road. It doesn't seem very, like, threatening. It doesn't seem like somebody wanted this car to be seen.
Okay. Lenny can say, like, sitting in the front seat, should we get out and look in the windows of that car? Should we do that?
I want to look.
You want to look? Okay. Let's go look and see if anybody's in the car.
Yeah.
Could go look ahead without anyone noticing if you want.
What?
Yes,
That's
beast.
it's an affirmative silence. I'm going to turn into a bird. I'm going to turn into an osprey, and inside the car, and then just fly through the side of the car. I can turn incorporeal. Just sort of a misty bird, and I'm going to fly around the front of the car and land on a branch and see what I can see.
Yeah, you see... Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, I would like that. I would prefer if you flew around like your little bird, you looked in it, and I didn't have to.
Perfect.
See, Virgil, aren't you glad we didn't murder him then? Aren't you glad we didn't murder him?
Jury's still out.
Broom, you fly over to this car. It seems like you can still see a little bit of heat coming off the front of it, as cars tend to get hot when they run. But it is quiet, and you don't see anything in the front seat, the driver's side, but you do see a figure in the passenger seat, and they seem to be leaning forward.
I'm going to flutter down onto the hood of the car and look through the windshield, right up close.
You get up close, you see the blonde hair that you noticed before, the figure of the girl that you had visibly seen in your vision, and it seems like she is with her face on the dashboard. Like, she is leaning so that her forehead is on the dashboard and she is not moving.
I sense her life essence. Do I know that she is
Is that
dead?
something you could do?
Maybe. I mean, I'm a fucking mist goblin, dude. Who knows?
Humans are confusing. You're not sure if she's, like, sleeping.
Okay, yes,
or...
totally, absolutely. I'm going to fly back into the car. The sister within the car. She's motionless.
Do you think she's dead?
I frequently think people are dead, so I'm not the best judge.
There's only one way to find out.
Yes, kill her.
No.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
Joke.
but you just put your face really close to her mouth, and you can tell if she's breathing or not.
Let's just go look.
Yes, let's.
Into her mouth?
No. No.
Stop.
If it comes to that, but if it comes
Shouldn't
to
look into women's mouths.
We'll
I'm gonna
follow
go
you.
over to the
Right.
passenger side of the car, and like I'll just look in and see. I mean, obviously, I didn't see her before, but her head's in the
Yeah.
dash.
Yeah. You do notice that she is, like, oddly dressed for this situation. She is wearing, like, a tank top and, like, shorts.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna open the door.
All right.
If
You
it's
open the
open,
door.
if it's open,
It is open. Yep, it's open. You open the door. She does not move.
Spooky. She's wearing shorts, Bug says. Bugs just generally find spooky.
I'll just go check a pulse.
Yeah, her arms are kind of on her
Okay,
side,
yeah,
or down on the side. Let me lean into my mic as I say this. And you check her pulse, and you do not feel anything.
She's dead.
She's dead.
It's so cool when he says it.
I mean, it
You
is-
guys have all come over to the body.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and sit her back in the seat.
Yes, and as you sit her back in the seat, her body kind of flops back, and looking upon you, you see this a normal human girl face, except where her eyes would be are two black blood-soaked holes, and her eyeballs have been removed from her forehead, leaving these crevices. And blood is just dripping still down her face. And you can see on the dashboard there is just blood sort of covering the dashboard and dripped onto the ground. Her mouth hangs agape as she is pushed back onto the back of the seat. And I think that's a good place for us to end for tonight.
Woo! Yeah. All in shock.
High note.
On this wonderful high note.
I
Thank
think
you, guys.
Broom looks at everybody as they're like, "Oh my god." And Broom's like, "Is she dead?"
That is where we will end for the night. All right, Monster of the Week has a beautiful and wonderful end of session system where you get experience for the amount of things that you have done. So I will ask questions and you will answer them for me, and that'll determine how much experience you get for the session. So, did we conclude the current mystery?
No.
No, we did not.
No.
We did not. We haven't solved anything. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
No.
No.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What? This is a show your work question.
Oh. There's a monster.
This
Yeah.
monster.
Yes.
Something's taking eyeballs.
Yes.
I don't need
Something-
character voice anymore.
Something
Yes.
is taking eyeballs and killing moles for food. Did we learn
And
something new?
I learned about that. I learned in Division that there was an eyeball. So this is
Oh,
strings
yeah,
together.
the
So
Yeah. You
Yes.
saw the eyeball.
I saw the
That's
eyeball
right.
removed.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? Yeah, you guys learned everything about each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would agree with that.
All right,
You want to
so
know,
if
you wanna know
get,
more about me? Because I'll just tell you.
No, not at all.
Anything you want
if-
to know.
if you get 1 or 2 yes answers, each hunter marks 1 experience. If you get 3 or more, then they mark 2. So everyone gets 1 experience for tonight. If you failed any rolls, then you will be getting more experience. We'll be doing more rolling as we get more into this adventure, mystery, horror. Yeah.
Rocking that solid 3 experience right now.
Hell yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes,
That's
yes.
impressive.
I assume that you guys are gonna level up at least once during this campaign. So,
Like, rolling
yeah.
like this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Thank you
love that
guys
it
so much for
rewards you for
failing.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I do too. So we're gonna go around. Everyone, just let the people of the internet know where they can find you, what you do. We're gonna start with the beautiful, wonderful, and courageous Loran.
Hello. You can find me here on the LB Hack 'em Up channel on Thursday and Friday nights. And then I'm Ren Reckless on Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you very much. You did a very good job tonight. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And next up, we have the handsome, the humble, and the ever stylish Ted.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Hi, folks. My name is Ted, also known as Nerd Immersion on the internet. I have all of the social media channels from Twitter to TikTok, Facebook, all of those. Probably the biggest thing that most people would know me from is my YouTube channel, where I do near daily, sometimes 9 a day, in the weird cases, YouTube videos about Dungeons and Dragons. So, and apparently a lot of unboxings, content reviews, breakneck, up-to-date news as fast as I can get it, and then just other general reviews, D&D story time, that kind of stuff. So if you love Dungeons and Dragons, or, random midnight 3-hour live streams like I did last night, or I guess, yeah, that happens. So, come hang out. It's a good time. That's it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then, of course, we have these are not. Okay, I always get into this thing where I'm like, I should, use different adjectives to describe people, and then I get to a list of adjectives, and I'm like, oh, none of these fit. But next up is the witty, no, I'm not going to say special, that's stupid. The witty, wonderful, the courageous, and clever Harlan.
Oh, I couldn't wait to find out if that was me or Aaron. I was like, oh, this could go either way right now.
Who is
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I'm Harley Kelly. I run a Spelljammer 5e game. It's also a Dungeons and Dragons game every Monday on our channel. It's called Better Than Heroes. This is our T-shirt. It's 4 comedians playing D&D, but it's not a comedy D&D show. It's 4 comedians playing D&D, and I'm just the DM on that. I'm not one of the comedians. And so I play every week with Aaron Urist here. It's called Better Than Heroes. Check it out.
Thank you so much for joining us on this channel. Very excited and happy to have you.
Thank you for running it. Like, truly, it's so fun. This is so fun. So thanks for asking us and running it.
All right. And last but of course not least, we have the inspirational, I just had the word. The confident and the crafty Aaron.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm Aaron Urist. You can see my comedy online. You can come see me do comedy in person if you're in the right place, emotionally or physically. You can watch me and Harlan play Dungeons and Dragons every Monday night at twitch.tv/betterthanheroes, or you can watch our stuff on YouTube. Yeah, we're out there. We out here.
Yeah. And I'm LB Hackamup. You can find me here Tuesdays. We are live on Thursdays, but I'm not here. Fridays, Saturdays for the next couple weeks, and Sunday evenings. I do a lot of stuff. Just check my Twitter for all that information. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for my players for putting up with my nonsense and playing with this. Yeah. Thanks. And we'll be back live at 7 o'clock EST next week on Saturday for episode 2 of 3. And we'll really get into this mystery. But until next time, I'm LB Hackamup. Hack recklessly. Bye.
Bye.